Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, what's Dracula's favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
I don't know.
No, vanilla.
Oh, it's so veiny.
Bloody Road.
Daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare. Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
Father's all that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am the father.
Score. Okay, here we go. Good evening and welcome to another monstrous episode of 3 Geeky Dads, the show that, much like me, Dracula, is long in the tooth and tends to suck. I am Mark, and with me as always are the Edward and Van to my Sloan.
Derek.
And Brian.
And joining us amongst the living dead, as always, to say screw you to math and the accuracy of our show title, a man who is always blah blah blahing over John Leguizamo, Count Titoula.
Okay.
That's bad. Tonight, as you can probably tell from this horrible accent, the dads are slowly creeping their way into the spooky season of October and, of course, Halloween. Now, I hear some of you saying, but Mark, you sexy but robust reject, it is only September. It be still too early to be this scary and annoying. Well, first off, go piss up a rope, for I am always this scary and annoying. And second of all, while it may still be early for jack-o'-lanterns, candy, and costumes, it is a perfect time to tackle some Hammer films. And who better to help us usher this time of bats, babes, boobs, and bloods? Bloods? Yeah, why not? Then the maestro of macabre, the sultan of scares, the manager of madness, or a Denny's, friend and faithful listener, Dean Kaluzdian.
Hi, everybody.
The answer to that is no one else. It's Dean. Hi, Dean. Welcome.
Hi.
Call me Dean.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How are we all doing?
Hey.
It's been a little while. It's
Hi,
been a couple of weeks. Oh, hi, Derek.
Who's that Van
Hi,
Sloan?
Derek.
He played Van Helsing in the Bela Lugosi.
Oh,
Dracula.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know either.
Another thing Tito knew.
I
Red
saw-
leg faces are on the table.
Tito is in my
we're really
eye,
digging
is
deep
my
tonight.
eye line, and he was like, "What?"
What the fuck
It's
is that?
supposed to be Van Helsing, not Sloan.
No, Edward Van
I know.
Sloan.
That's Tito's
that's
inner
Tito?
monologue.
Is that how he said?
Yeah.
That's exactly how
That's
he talks.
his inner monologue.
His
I was
inner
thinking Van
monologue is
Halen.
like Professor Frink.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be
slow.
Van Helsing.
What is up with this toast? Tito's inner monologue, everybody. Dean, hey, I'm bet right now you're glad to be back, huh?
Hi.
Hey, Dean, just adjust your mic. It's pointed a little down.
Yeah,
There you go.
get up all in
I was
that.
slouching when I first.
Too tall. You're too tall.
So how we doing? Tito,
Good.
sorry, fantasy football didn't work out tonight, but I'm glad you
No, it's all
got
right.
to
I
join
got
us.
like 4 or 5 fucking drafts coming up. So
Yeah, we wish you
double
luck.
them up.
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got too many. I don't know if I'm feeling it this year.
really?
We'll see. Usually when the season starts, then I'm like,
It's going to be a weird year.
I'm in it to win it.
See, no Belichick
Right. As
on the
always.
sidelines, man.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes the sports talk of our show.
Brick killed the guy.
No, Belichick
Brick.
killed.
Brick.
Brick did.
Brick killed the guy.
Brick killed the
Brick
guy.
killed the guy. Okay, I thought Belichick killed the guy. It's like,
That won't
Probably.
surprise me either.
you think so? You think he killed the guy?
I wouldn't put it past.
Could you imagine?
Speaking of vampires,
Yeah.
he's probably killed a lot of guys. You ever see him out in the daytime?
Can you just picture him
Yes.
with a gun abusing somebody? Don't you fucking look at me. Don't you look at me. Rubs the lotion on the skin and
Yeah.
puts it in the basket.
Well, she's a great big fat woman. That's the only impersonation I can do is Buffalo Bill from Signs of the Left. Well, she's a great big fat woman.
Well, you got the Sean Connery one down.
That's it.
That's right.
People don't know that. Jane Gum was Sean Connery.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Push the lotion. No, against the hose
She's a
again.
great big fat person.
Would you fuck me?
Would you fuck me?
Oh, that's Bane. That sounded like Bane.
I know.
I'd fuck me hard.
I was told we'd be fucking each other.
What a show. What a show we got tonight.
Boy, we managed to keep it clean for like a minute.
Nah, no.
Sorry, Mom. Tonight, we will start off with yet another vampiric video from the Christopher Lee Dracula franchise with the next installment following Prince of Darkness, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. The story of the main man of maggots and malice rising once more to strike fear into the hearts of villagers everywhere. But before we grab our crucifixes and order heavy on the garlic, our own vamp of veal, Brian, has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off. Brian,
Mark.
get cracking.
Mr. Harker, I'm glad that you've arrived safely.
Count Dracula.
I am Dracula, and I welcome you to my house. I must apologize for not being here to greet you personally, but I trust that you have found everything you needed.
Thank you, sir. It was most thoughtful.
Tonight, as Mark mentioned, we will be taking a look at Hammer's Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. I personally happen to love this movie. It's my favorite of all the Hammer Dracula sequels, but apparently it's not everyone's cup of tea, unfortunately.
Cup of
I'm
Tito.
looking at you, Tito.
Cup of Tito.
And that ties directly into tonight's appetizer. For tonight, we want to take a look at movies that we love that other people seem to hate. So, boys, take it away.
I think I went first last time.
So do we start with Dean, or do you want
Yeah,
to
let's
skip to
start
Mark?
with Dean.
Oh, there's pressure.
Oh, boy.
Dean.
All right.
Do you want to go last?
Special guest.
I'll go first.
You're gonna
Okay.
go
Because
first,
I
yeah.
know,
You're
like,
too tall.
Dean Too Tall Jones.
Brian and I agree on a whole bunch of stuff, but when it comes to Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
we do not.
Hey, don't walk away. There you go.
Yeah, so
I didn't know it was going to be this kind of show.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
Dean was never welcomed back on the show
We
again.
never seen him.
Yeah,
Brian changed the locks.
I'm not, as I could go with a lot of the Zack Snyder oeuvre, but I will say Sucker Punch because
Is oeuvre Latin for puke?
This is why I didn't want to come.
Let the man state
I will
his
let the man
case. Let
speak.
everybody state their
He
case.
has opinions.
And
Oh,
then
that's a
we
good
can make
pick.
fun of them.
That is a good pick.
I like that movie
Sucker
too.
Punch
Sucker
is one of
Punch,
my
yes.
favorite movies. I have the poster up in my bedroom. I've got the one of my greatest gifts from my wife back when she was not my wife is the Hot Toys baby doll.
Oh, cool.
Probably like my first expensive action figure doll.
Yeah.
You know, it's a 12-inch. So
I bet. Oh. It's been well used.
I love that movie, and admittedly, the first time I saw it, it was not my favorite movie. But I have seen it so many times now, and I love it more each time.
Yeah.
And it is visual. There's even a visual detail in it that I love the most, that they flash by it real quick, but the business card for the lawyers is that are getting like her father out of jail and putting her in the asylum.
Right.
Is the same lawyers from Angel Heart.
Is it really?
Oh, cool.
Wow. Nice little callback.
Awesome.
There you go.
That make you like the movie more?
No.
No.
No, it makes me think that Zack Snyder is just not original to come up with his own loyal
man.
law.
Shit, son. Shit just got real.
Shit just got
I like that movie. Zack Snyder had a lot of cachet for me after doing, he does the
Watchmen
zombie movie.
and
He does Watchmen.
300.
Day of the Dead.
Dawn
Thank
of the
you.
Dead.
300.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. So when that came out, visually, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the cast in that
The
film.
music's awesome in that.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I'm forgiving a lot too. I don't know. Certain people just make things that I just have to love.
Visually stunning.
Yeah.
Carlo Gugino.
Oh, dude.
Oscar Isaac
like
before
the,
he was Oscar Isaac.
I like the cast.
Yeah.
I like the visuals.
Yeah.
The story's a mess, and that's why I cannot follow it.
See, my problem with the story is that it's
It's
too
depressing
simple and
as
too linear.
and
that was my problem.
Yeah.
It's
when I first
depressing
saw
as
it.
hell to me. It's not a feel-good movie.
Well, a spike in the nose will do that too.
Yeah,
Right,
Or
yeah.
the eyeball.
Lobotomies.
Brian likes happy things. Sunshine.
Not all the time.
Lollipops.
I don't mind a down ending when it's done well. This movie was just a mess getting to that down ending. It was.
Is there anything uplifting in it?
Like I said, the cast is good. It's visually stunning. I love the dream world
visuals
sequences. Yeah,
The girls.
that's what I mean. The
Girls are uplifting.
Yeah,
That's Scott Glenn,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like Scott Glenn.
Yeah, it was a good cast.
And,
Oscar Isaac. And,
early Oscar Isaac, which they cut out. The extended cut has, which I always feel like anybody who doesn't like Zack Snyder or anybody who doubts that they might like, just skip the movie when it comes out in the theater and watch the extended cut, because no matter what he does, the extended versions are always 100 times better.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he
than
just put that out first?
Because he's not the one who's putting it out.
Right.
Like it's.
they're not going to let him put out a 2.5,
He just
3-hour
doesn't
movie.
whore himself out. You have to come to him, Brian.
Gotta ask for flowers.
Leave a little something to the imagination.
He has
Why don't
carte
you?
blanche from Netflix.
Well,
Now he does for sure.
Now he does.
Now, yeah.
Absolutely.
And he put out 2
I know.
movies in this new sci-fi franchise that he's doing. And while the first one is out, he says, not only do I have director's cuts in my back pocket, I'm changing the titles. Did you see that?
Oh, he changed the name?
He released
the
them.
director's cuts are almost different movies.
Yeah,
they're so good.
much so
Like,
that
I'm
he's
gonna watch
changed
them.
the titles of the director's cuts.
Really?
It's like, just put that fucking out first. Netflix gave you all this money. Why are you putting out this piece of shit?
You
that
wasted
makes
2.5 hours of our
Seriously.
life watching the first one.
I'm
You know what
sorry,
I
I'm
like
going on
about
a
that? Because it allows
love when
a
he
creative
ran.
person to
he pisses
continue
me
to
off.
be creative
he's
with
like,
their own art.
He's like fishing. He's fishing with the first movie to see
He
what
should
generates.
have. He should have fished with a good movie. He
All
would have
right.
got more people.
I don't know. Though.
It's all about the
I don't
right
need to
bait.
do the
Mark.
rest of my list.
You are good.
I can think of a ton of authors, though.
You
That,
should have went last.
Look at it. Look at the evil. Look
This
at the
is
evil.
why I
lad.
said, am I going first? 'Cause we're just.
I love it.
I can
love
think
you,
of a
Brian.
ton of authors, though, that I would love to see. Like I'd love to read their first drafts of certain books.
Yeah.
So it's his movies really are like first drafts, and then you get the real thing after.
Then that's a bad movie maker.
Well,
that is
no,
a bad movie maker.
I'm
You don't put
authentic-
out your first draft.
I'm authentically curious about what the deal, whether Netflix had putting out a rated R cut. We want a family-friendly version
Right.
because they did. It was a huge success, which
Right.
the rated R version is a hard R. Like it is.
Part 2 came and nobody talked about it. Nobody. Of all the podcasts I listened to, I think maybe 1 or 2 maybe
Didn't
one or two
cover it.
talked about it.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't even bring it up.
We didn't watch it.
We didn't want to.
I didn't think
I
we
watched
were,
it,
I
yeah.
didn't think we were going to be talking about it. So.
Yeah, no, I was
would've.
hoping we wouldn't. If you guys brought it up, I would be like, all right, maybe. But
Although I was told by
I'll take one for the
Dean
team.
and Jay at Rubber Chicken that the uncut
the
of the
director's
first,
cut,
the director's cut
Mm-hmm.
of
Which
Rebel
is
Moon,
the
the first
two
one.
together. Oh, I thought it was
like
the two
an
combined into one.
there's two,
entirely
so you've
better
got a-
movie.
You've
That's
got
what I was
another
saying.
like
Well, that's the
7
Genius one,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Jay said the same. Yeah, so
oh, shit is right, Tito.
I mean, I like the
So
idea
who's
of
going next?
a creative
Yeah.
being able to continue, like, take something and shape it.
Yeah, George
Like, it
Lucas.
doesn't always-
George Lucas does it all the time. and
That's
passes
not a
it
good
down
thing.
the-
I am not a fan of that either.
I don't. I think this is like I will continue this to say. I think this is different in the like. It's not like he came out with one and then continued on and was like, oh, I'm going to add this to it. I think there was probably we want this, but you can also have this at the same time.
The idea of someone having, like, let's say 30 hours of footage and being like, I can make like 6 different movies out of this shit. It's kind of cool to me. Whether it's successful or not, I kind of like the idea.
It is, 'cause
but
make
you don't
it
like
as-
Zack Snyder. I like
Make
Zack
it
Snyder.
as a series then.
Yeah.
Why can't you make it? If you're going to make something 6 hours, who wants to sit through a 6-hour fucking movie?
Well, it depends
Make it
on
a
what it
series
is.
where you have chapters and you can break it up.
break it up. Well, he
Or
did
do
that
what
with
do what Roger Corman does. Take the sets and just make like 3 different movies.
That's
out of the-
economical filmmaking.
He did that with Justice League. which I
You're
thought was
putting
really
you're
good.
putting a genius filmmaker against Zack Snyder.
Macrina, what do you got?
I got so there is only I think I know one other person that likes this movie. Just kind of.
If you say Sucker Punch, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It is Sucker Punch. No. I have Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem.
Definitely.
I
I never saw
absolutely,
it.
genuinely love this film, and I've heard from horror fans of Rob Zombie movies, that this movie sucked, that it sucks, it's his worst movie, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I do not say blah, blah, blah to this movie. I watched it, and I really liked this movie. And then I watched it again because I thought, wait a minute, did I really like it, or am I such an asshole? I just want to like it to be different and prove everybody wrong. No,
Yeah, probably.
Each time I see this, I like it better and better. I love the way it's filmed. I love the mood of the movie. It's another very early 70s feel film, but it's not grungy or grimy or trashy like most of his movies. It's more like a Burnt Offerings, slow burn kind of Sentinel film. It's just beautifully shot. The footage of Salem is great. I really like the cast. And it shows that Rob Zombie can do something different when he wants to, and apparently nobody wanted to see that. So, he hasn't really done another, what's the word, clean movie? I want to say clean. If that
Do the Monsters count?
The Monsters does not count.
Family friendly.
Yeah, the Monsters doesn't count.
What did he think?
But I
Oh,
like,
shit.
I really like everything the dude's directed. I like all his films. I just think he's a great filmmaker.
So he's your Zack Snyder.
I guess so. Yeah, I would say he's my Zack Snyder. A lot of people don't like his films, and
He is
I
not
do.
my Zack Snyder.
No, he is
not your. Yeah.
We have.
Yeah,
we
a lot of
disagree
people don't
on
like
Rob
this
Zombie.
hat.
Yeah,
You know?
it
Although
angers a lot of people.
It angers a lot
I'm
of
seeing
people,
him in
Derek.
concert next week.
Oh, he puts on a
I really
great
enjoy
show.
his music.
He puts on an awesome show.
Dig through the ditches. Yeah, that guy. I know that guy.
You know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never see his face.
Him and
though.
Alice Cooper. I want to see that.
Oh,
Yeah, they're playing together.
Yeah, they are.
Chris. And
fun.
and Ministry too.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't think Ministry was still together.
Dean, can you sneak me in?
Put under my coat.
Just like stuff me in a suitcase or something.
Who is this really tall man? Wasn't he?
It's like 2 children under a raincoat. 2 really large
Big
children.
to like 5 children. Robust, Brian. I'm robust.
Robust.
Yeah, that's my top pick. I genuinely like this film.
All right, I went with Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
I
Good
really,
pick.
I do. I
That
really
is a
enjoy
good
this
pick.
movie. I think it's fun. I know that there's so many people that complain about the length and
Yeah, they do. We're like 12-year-old boys.
we really
dude.
are.
Yeah, we are.
but I love the Chris Pine stuff. I loved how and I remember seeing the previews and being like, why is he back? Like, so the way that they did that and explained it, I'm like, all right, that's not a cop out. I like that.
Not entirely.
I loved how they did Cheetah.
Very,
I love
very
the look of her.
disturbing.
I love Kristen Wiig as her.
Yeah.
I wish that she had been the actual Cheetah longer, but I don't care. I'll take it. I liked the gradual like the way that you see her progress.
Yeah.
I love Pedro Pascal as Max Lord.
Yeah.
I thought he was great, like totally over the top, but I loved it. I love the look and feel, the '80s factor. So it may have been a little bit longer than it had to be, but overall, and people just nonstop
A lot
talk
of
shit
people
about
don't
it.
like that movie.
No.
That was also one of those like
you
people.
liked it, didn't
oh,
you?
I think it's a great movie.
You did, okay.
A lot of people, it felt like were looking for reasons to hate it.
Right.
Like, oh, she's taking advantage of a guy. Again, he didn't consent to have his body taken over. It's like that's a bit of a reach. I understand, but it wasn't even like people who feel that way in their real lives. It's people looking to make a point against people who actually feel that way in their real lives. It's so fucking stupid.
Right.
What I liked most about that movie is she doesn't beat him with her fists.
Right.
She fucking ends the movie talking him down. I thought it was so genius.
Right.
I really did. I was like, oh, she
And
just
it's
talked
totally Wonder Woman.
Maxwell Lord into just kind of giving up. This is amazing.
It was a nice PowerPoint presentation.
She didn't have to punch him in the face or anything. No
Who
punches
wants
in the
to
face.
see
She didn't kick him in the
Amazonian
stomach.
fighting when you can have Dr. Ruth do the.
Yeah, she did. She did plenty of fighting in both movies.
No, that's what I want to
I
see.
like seeing shit like that
I don't
sometimes.
want to see a superhero lecture.
There's so many superhero
I don't
movies.
Need superheroes lecturing.
I like something interesting every once in a while.
No lecturing heroes for this man. Thank you. And
No lecturing heroes and no redeeming villains. Right?
No.
No,
the Maxwell Lord
I think
thing,
that's
the
an over-
whole wishing,
I think that's an
I wish for more
overstatement.
wishes. I mean, that was like a Disney plot gone bad, man. I will say though, I would take it over
He doesn't
Birds
like
of
it.
Play.
No, I know he
any
doesn't
Yeah, I'm with Mark.
You'll
on
take it
that.
over
Birds
what?
is-
I would take
Oh,
it over
yes.
Birds of Prey in a
I like
heartbeat.
Birds of Prey too.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind
There's
it.
things I like about it, but I
don't mind it.
Birds of Prey is.
They did Cassandra
I don't
King
mind it.
dirty, and I
Awful.
just can't forgive them for
Oh,
that.
they
That's
did so
fine.
much wrong with that.
It's fine.
More than it's not fine.
Fine.
It's whatever. Brian, what do you
What's your
got?
pick?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Well, hi, Brian.
So I've got Zack Snyder's. No, I don't.
Zombieland?
I've got
Was that what it's called?
Zombieland. Remember
Yeah.
that masterpiece?
I like that one too.
I like
that other
Zombieland.
Netflix masterpiece.
You're thinking Army of the Dead.
Oh, that's what it's called.
You're bashing a good zombie movie.
What did
thinking
he
it's
say?
a bad.
I said Zombieland, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
Army
no,
of the
but I
Dead.
was thinking of Army of the Dead.
I
Yeah,
know.
no,
I had to correct you guys
Yeah,
before our
you're right.
listeners did.
Yeah.
All
Great
three of
performance by
them.
John
Yeah,
Leguizamo.
all three of them are turning to other podcasts right now.
Brian, let's hear about this movie. that you
Okay,
love
so
much
I've
that I
got
hate.
2003's Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World.
Never
I've talked
seen
about
it.
this movie
Oh,
before.
yes, you have.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this
never
movie,
seen
but I
this.
know a lot of people hate it, especially and including my wife,
Well, good for her.
who
Taking
bitches
a
every
stand.
time I put it on. Like, you're watching this again?
Fuck it, I'm going out for a few hours.
It's so boring. And she's not the only one. I've heard it from other people. This is a historical drama starring Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany, and they're on an English ship that is kind of playing cat and mouse with this French ship throughout the whole movie. They're chasing each other. Russell Crowe's Captain Jack Aubrey has orders to chase this ship down, and he exceeds his orders, even going so far as to chase the ship into the Pacific. They go around South America and into the Pacific, up to the Galapagos Islands, and it culminates in this sea battle that's amazing. The cast is fantastic. Russell Crowe, Paul Bettany, a bunch of unnamed actors that one of the hobbits from Lord of the Rings is in it in a
Merry
small role.
Pippin?
One of the either Merry or Pippin. I forget which one is which.
One of them's Dominic
Monaghan.
The other one is
I think it's the other one. It's Billy.
Yeah, it's
Boyd?
Billy Boyd.
I wanted to
It's
say Billy
Boyd.
Budd, but that's another Seaman.
Yeah, exactly. You said
Seaman.
semen.
Seaman. Yeah, you
Welcome to the show, Dean.
Yeah, you thought I was going to get biased.
Dad joke. What's long and hard and full of semen? A submarine.
Master and
Ha, boom,
Commander.
So
Are you in your room, Master and Commandering again?
Leave me alone, Mama. Get me more tissue.
Get me more tissue.
the cast is fantastic. I love the interplay between the crew. There's all kinds of like subplots going on as the two ships are chasing each other, where one of the petty officers is considered like a bad luck Jonah, because every time he's on watch is when the French ship shows up. and bad shit happens. One crew member that's very popular dies, and this guy is blamed for it. And it's a really cool subplot that runs through this movie. I happen to love it. A lot of people think that it's long and boring and not much happens.
Oh, young
but
Jarvis is in it.
Yes, he is.
Young Jarvis, yeah.
Yes.
James Darcy.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He plays Captain Aubrey's second in command.
Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas.
So 2 Jarvises are in that then.
Oh, yeah, because Vision.
Yes,
Vision.
you're right.
Huh?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Connect the dots.
It's a lot of people think it's long and boring, but I think it's perfectly paced. If you're a fan of history, if you're a fan of old-timey,
nautical
tall
adventures.
ships, nautical stuff, it's a fantastic movie. It's got a great cast, great
seas
dialogue.
adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you like that stuff.
I do love that.
The only
stuff.
thing I saw, you were watching it here once when we came over, and I watched a little bit.
I watch
of
it all the time.
It seemed kind of cool. It seemed
I like it.
It's not.
Have you seen it?
I have it. Yeah.
I'm not into movies like that.
I saw it a long time ago. I like Heart of the Sea better.
Yeah, that's not bad. But I still love this movie.
know.
I gravitate towards this one all the time.
I'll wait for the director.
And I highly recommend it.
Well,
Zack Snyder's going to re-edit it.
It'll be like 9 hours long.
That's it.
And in black and white and 4x3.
Yeah, they spend the first 3 hours loading the ship.
Master and
Getting the band back together. Nothing
No glass on board, but plenty of glare, right?
Runners up.
Isn't that J.J. Abrams?
Oh,
yeah,
we
that's
haven't done
right.
Tito yet. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
Tito, what's yours?
I got one. It's good. I absolutely love this movie. I've loved it ever since I was a child. I watch it more than the original. It's called Caddyshack 2.
Oh my
A
God.
lot of people do
For
not
real?
like this
No.
movie.
I swear to God, I thought you were going Grease 2 for a minute.
Oh,
wow.
fuck. Grease 2 is better than the original. Hot take.
Yeah.
Better
now
songs.
Tito has a runner-up.
Oh, yeah.
Better songs. It's about sex and life. It's amazing. I love this movie. The Kenny Loggins song, I think, is better than the original song in the first Caddyshack.
Man.
I like
That's a bold
Jonathan
statement.
Silverman. I don't know who the fuck Jackie Mason is, but I
Jackie
absolutely
Mason's
love this guy in this movie.
He's so funny.
Chevy Chase cracks me up in this movie. Dan Aykroyd makes me laugh, even though it's like the knockoff Bill Murray character.
Yeah.
Robert Stack, I think, is hilarious, and it just cracks me up every time I watch it. And I saw this before the original. Me and my sister used to watch this all the time. I watch it once a month, just if I need something to throw on in the background because I know it's like front to back. And I've probably seen the original Caddyshack maybe like 4 times, but I've seen this movie maybe like
You'll get nothing and like it.
yeah. I don't know. I was too young. This movie came out. I was the right age.
See how the lights
Yeah,
dimmed?
it taught me about Armenians. I didn't even know what Armenians were. It's a Jackie Mason show.
And now
Thank you,
you've
Dean
got
Kaluuya.
me.
Yeah,
one's
right.
sitting
Here
right
we
next
are.
to you.
You can always tell there's an Armenian when his name rhymes with Armenian.
Wait, doesn't Jackie Mason play an Armenian guy in The Jerk too?
Does he? I don't remember.
Oh. I mean, he is Armenian, no?
Because he's got the glasses in the. Is it Jackie Mason that? Gets
I don't
the
remember.
glasses in?
I really don't remember. It's been so long since
I'll
I've seen
have
The
to-
Jerk.
Have to watch it
Yeah.
again.
I know.
Listen,
'Cause
all I watch is
don't
Caddyshack too, so
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Watch The Jerk.
Tito is not
Let us
weighing in
know.
on this.
got
Okay.
any, runners up?
Now we
runners
got
up?
Dean, runners up.
I'm not going to go with any of the other Zack Snyder movies, but I will go with Alien 3,
Oh, wow.
which is one of my favorite of the Alien. Because
That's a good
A
fucking
lot of-
pick. That's a good movie, man. Fuck anybody who doesn't
and-
like that movie.
and
Yeah,
there's-
man. Fuck me. Fuck me.
I will also say that's another one that the director's cut's not a real director's cut, but it is what the director had and David Fincher had
in mind,
intended.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Is Newt still alive, and is Hicks still alive?
I'm just coming
Are
out
they
here to
still
get picked
alive?
on
No,
by everybody.
no.
I didn't see anyone else get yelled at.
Unforgivable. Unforgivable.
I like both those movies.
That's lazy
I-
writing.
It's funny.
He does. Harry Hartunian.
That is
Oh,
really
that's the
funny.
fucking character from Caddyshack 2.
So it's the same. So he's playing the same character.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Tito's mind was just blown.
I love that I was able to. Pull
Oh, no,
that
it's Jack
together.
Hartunian.
Oh, so it's his brother.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's like the Tarantino verse.
Yeah, it's Harry
It's like-
Hartunian and Jack. Yeah.
It's a strange thing with us Armenians. We have like Armenian radar. That's like, whenever there's any other Armenian, like, oh, that was an Armenian character in this movie. Like the Armenian Mafia and the Shield. All right, so yeah, part 3. For the Newt fan, like I like that in the beginning you find out that the people that it shows that the stakes are high, like that the people you care about can instantly die before the movie even starts.
That's terrible. It kills the love.
Charles S. Dutton fist fights a xenomorph is the best fucking
yeah.
scene in any Alien movie. Convince me otherwise. He fights the alien with his bare hands.
It's got all
and holds his own.
No.
Charles Dance is in
Charles
it.
Dance is in it. Such a great. The cast is awesome.
The cast is amazing.
You do have Brian Glover, the joke maker from An American Werewolf in London.
Really?
In the pub. Yeah. The whole.
No, it is.
You
it
made me.
Chokes out the Mexicans.
Yeah.
But the director's cut has a little more in the beginning of it. The kind of like the Aliens director's cut, like added back in the Hadley's Hope. Is that what it is? And this one adds a little more of the alien infecting the dog in the beginning, or that kind of stuff. That and so it fills it out a little bit more. It's a little darker.
I will say it does have its place in horror iconography with the xenomorph going up to that beautiful bald head of Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Right? And the trailer was very good.
Yeah, no,
if only the movie was, but the trailer was awesome.
Some of the
bitch is back.
Early digital effects don't hold up, and same. That's the biggest problem with Part 4. But this one doesn't have as much of that, but it's the actors in it just make that.
I don't know. The makeup effects for Bishop are really cool too.
Yeah,
just like half of him, and he's fucking puking up his own white blood or whatever.
Yeah. The milk.
I like that movie.
Milk.
I like
They're
all
made
four
of
of those
milk.
movies.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
A lot.
Any other runners up? Oh.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm tired of being yelled at.
He's done enough
You're not being
damage.
yelled. This is not being yelled at. You'll know when you're being yelled at. I've got Derek Rook's gonna love this. I got Escape from L.A., Day of the Dead, which is like many Romero fans think it's the weakest out of the three zombie Romero movies. I think it's my favorite.
I didn't realize people didn't like Escape from L.A.
A lot of people hate
A lot of people hate that movie.
Escape
Really?
from
Oh,
LA,
yeah.
It's
including
not
John
good.
Carpenter.
No. Oh, come on
It's
now.
fantastic.
Listen, he hits a full
It's
court shot. I love
awesome.
it. It's not a good movie.
And it's a great movie.
I'm with Mark on this
It's
one.
a great movie.
I like this
So
movie.
does
I will
Sigourney
agree
Weaver.
that it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
It's an awesome movie.
That'll get me every time.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's Kurt Russell. It's Snake Plissken. It's a surfboard on a lava wave. Do people not know what fun is?
Right.
Bruce
Because-
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell
Oh.
and freaking Pam Grier, like a ton of
Grier's in
cameos.
that.
And
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi's in that.
What's
Peter
that guy?
Fonda.
AJ Langer.
Yeah.
How are you,
AJ
fellow
Langer's
kids?
in that.
Oh, I remember her.
Hey, Snake, whoa, man. He's like an aging surfer. Oh, Snake, I heard all about you, man. Oh,
It's too
awesome.
crisp. It's too crisp.
It's
Crisp
awesome.
looking.
And finally, a movie no one's heard of except Mystery Science Theater, but I maintain this movie's good without them. The Girl in Gold Boots.
Oh, wow.
Yep, there you go.
never seen
No
it.
one never heard
I'm
of
sure
it.
I
There's
should.
a reason for that. Yeah.
Isn't that the one that you said you want to own
I do
just
own
without the Mystery Science Theater
Sir,
commentary?
I do own it.
You do? You found it?
I found it. Commentary and all. It's
Wow.
It's awesome. Low budget, low filmmaking crime drama with dancers and gangsters and a guy with a guitar. It's got musical numbers in it. It's like
Oh, that sounds nice.
it's like one
It's
of
like a
those
young Grease 2.
It's like Grease 2. It's like if Quentin Tarantino directed Grease 2.
Oh, now we're
Let's
cooking
go
with gas.
with that. And threw in something by Roger Corman or something like that. There you
Nice.
go. Those are mine.
I have a lot, and it makes me think that
doesn't surprise
maybe I
me.
have
You
more
like
in common
crap.
with Mark than I thought, because the
Well,
amount
that's
of
weird.
quote
Okay.
bad movies that I like. I mean, Batman versus Superman.
Yes, I
I
got
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's a TV show, but
good-
Moon Knight.
like
The
it.
Marvels.
Fuck that.
I like
I
that
like
movie.
that.
The Bad Batch gets a bad rap.
The TV.
Is that the
I
movie we
love that
watched
movie.
one night?
Yeah, I think we did.
With the picture of the
God.
girl's butt?
Yeah.
Terrible.
You weren't there.
oh,
Terrible.
We watched it
You watched it
without
without
you.
me?
Yeah, you
Yes.
left one night. We watched it.
Yeah.
See,
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I would. You would.
I always fall asleep,
You would have
but I
liked
fell
it more if you'd watched it with me.
Tito fell asleep a lot earlier than he normally falls
Yeah,
asleep.
typically, yeah, I fall asleep a lot later in the night.
Epic movie. Catwoman. Master of Disguise.
Wow, that's hilarious.
I know.
Catwoman.
Wow.
Catwoman.
It's bad. It's a bad movie, but
Good basketball
But I
scene.
enjoy that movie.
See?
Great
Right?
basketball scene.
Yeah.
I like Master of Disguise too.
The Room, obviously.
Great turtle scene.
Super Mario Brothers. Street Fighter. Howard the Duck. Hudson Hawk. Hudson Hawk was almost my number
Hudson
one.
Hawk is awesome.
I love
That's a
Hudson
good
Hawk.
movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. I'll go with you on that one.
Venom. Beverly Hills Cop 3.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you right there,
terrible
brother.
fucking
Represent.
movie.
Represent.
Blade Trinity. Cursed.
I like Billy.
You probably hate
I
that
hate
movie,
that
right?
movie.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Christina Ricci?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And The Shadow, Halloween 3, and
like The Shadow.
Gem and the Holograms.
Everybody loves it.
The newer one?
The new.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't an old one.
Well, they made one
The
in like
movie.
2019 or something.
No, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Halloween 3 is a great movie.
Yeah.
Don't even throw that on that list.
But
It's got
I
its
remember
fan
growing
base
up.
now.
Yeah,
When
it was
I-
always
it's a
the
good
least loved
movie,
of the
Tito.
Halloween.
Tito,
Yeah.
it's a
Halloween
good
3
good
has
movie.
found its
It's
audience.
fun. It's
Yeah.
audience.
Right.
Yeah,
Agreed.
some of those movies
It only took
actually
40
feel
years,
like
Dean, but it
are
found it.
on that
Yeah,
list.
yeah. No,
Movies that have an audience.
like even
Right.
when we saw the director talking about it. and
Yeah.
he was it the director we saw?
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
Neither can anyone else.
The director of who?
Of Halloween,
Halloween 3.
Oh, it was
Tommy Lee Wallace.
Tommy
Wallace,
Lee Wallace,
yeah.
yeah.
Tommy
And even he was talking
Lee
about how,
Wallace.
years of people
Sorry, I
not
keep moving away
liking
from
it.
this mic here.
And now, you go to horror conventions and everybody likes Halloween 3.
Yeah, it's aged very well. It's a great
Now
movie.
it's cool.
It's
to love
ironic.
Halloween
It's
3,
ironically.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's good. It's
It
just
has-
a good movie. No one realized it at the time
Right,
because they
and-
were all Michael Myers this
Right.
and Michael Myers that. Sorry.
I had nothing. No, this is a bug.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
And
Brian, do you have any-
The Shadow is a great
Yes.
movie
Yeah.
too.
I
I
like
like
that.
I think The
I
Shadow
like
is
it.
very underrated.
It's not good, but I like
I
it.
think it's good. Shut up.
All right.
Brian?
Stupid.
I said I had nothing.
Oh, you got nothing?
No, I had no runners up.
No
runners
runners
up.
up.
Nope.
Really?
I only got 2. Congo. Love Congo.
God.
Love
Was Congo
Congo.
that
We've got to
native?
do
Bruce
Congo.
Campbell.
Another
Bruce
Bruce
Campbell was in Congo.
Yeah, he's the son.
who's
He
the
was
lead
in the
actress?
beginning.
Sorry, being.
Very
Who's the lead
quickly.
actress?
Laura Linney.
Is it Laura Linney?
Yeah, Laura Linney.
Yeah,
Tim
Ernie Hudson
Curry.
does like some kind of African accent.
Yeah,
It's very,
comes and
it's
it
very
goes.
fun. Yeah,
Love Actually is Laura Linney.
yeah, she's great.
But-
Masterpiece Theater.
Hold on. Even more importantly, it's got Joe Don Baker in it.
Joe Don Baker.
Mitchell himself is in this movie.
He's not very nice.
No, he isn't. He's a jerk.
And
I don't think he's acting.
No, definitely not.
I think that's just Joe Don being Joe Don.
And the other one are all the Step Up movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I love them
Admittedly,
all.
I saw the first one.
Yeah.
I like the second one.
I love all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
What are you
6.
looking at me like that for?
They
laughing.
actually made
I
6
love
of them.
They made so many. I
made-
saw them all
Wow.
in
How
theater
many
too.
times can you step up? Oh,
You'd be
It depends on
surprised.
how big the staircase
On
is.
the
Exactly.
stairs.
Yeah.
Surprised.
You'd have gotten
Yeah.
to the top by now.
The escalator is broken.
It's the Joker staircase, you know? They're going to be making step-up movies
Oh,
for
yeah.
at least another 20 steps.
I think they stopped. though.
They stopped.
They're good. Till you're 90. Yeah. Those are my. That's all
I got that reference. That everyone?
That's it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
Grease
everything-
2. Grease 2.
Grease 2.
Grease
2.
Better songs than I don't like Grease, so I'm
Better
I don't
songs,
care.
bro.
What about the movie?
No, I see.
Yeah.
Grease. I like Grease for mastering commanding with some grease.
Sometimes he needs grease.
I do.
It's not that he likes it. He
At
just
my
needs
age. At my age, sir.
Are we talking about booty holes?
it. Maybe. What, you think we're talking about bacon and sausage?
I don't know.
Isn't that the same thing?
I sense no difference.
I want to drink. Oh, I thought that was
Go ahead.
I've
get
been
a
on
drink.
here too many times now to pretend that I didn't know what I was getting into.
Oh, Dean. I see you trying to back away. It's too late now. Join us.
He's too tall.
Too tall. I know. I'm making you look like Danny DeVito over here, man. What are you doing? Just
Trying to open up
the
a can of
Just
soda.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
See, the thing is, we're pretty close in
I
height.
can't.
I just have a much longer torso, so when we're
You're
sitting,
very slim.
Yeah, I've got my legs
You
are
are
only
Slim
2
Shady.
feet long, and I've got a 7-foot torso. So when I stand up, I'm actually your height.
Johnny Long Torso.
Johnny Long Torso. Shall we go to the main course?
The main course.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
What a hiss at
It's almost
the
like we
end,
had
too.
planned it.
That was
We've
That
been
was
building to it
impressive.
each week.
Yes.
That was the Grease 2 of main courses.
See, the
better
songs,
than
the
the
songs
original.
are better.
Yeah, the songs are better.
Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Gotta
Come
go
on.
with you
What are
there.
you talking about?
Oh, God, I love her.
Please, let's leave here.
Oh, dinner sounds like a splendid idea.
I agree. 10 minutes ago, we were stranded in the cold, miles away from anywhere. Now we're warm, we're going to be fed. And if that man's master's anything like I think he's going to be, we're going to be entertained as well.
Yes, Diana's right. Come on, let's sit down. Isn't your master joining us for dinner?
No, sir. I'm afraid not.
Is he indisposed?
My master is dead, but instructions were left that the castle should always be ready to receive guests. I am merely carrying out his wishes.
I see. Who was your master?
His name was Count Dracula.
name's a charm, they say, and while there have been 4 Dracula movies prior to Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, this movie features Christopher Lee once again donning the cape and fangs as he lusts for the finest women Britain has to offer, which back then, well, slim pickings all around, really. This was only his 3rd time, though. This time, Dracula has his voice back, a welcome addition after his mute part in the previous installment, Prince of Darkness, for his voice is just as much a character as the bloodshot eyes and the blood-soaked fangs. Another interesting thing about this movie is that it introduces atheism to the protagonist, a young, fresh-faced, Target version Hugh Grant-type college boy who openly denies evidence of God or anything religious or supernatural, only to find himself pitted against something supernatural, but also seeking power and alliance from the very being he refused to believe in. Pretty heavy, huh? Heavy-handed stuff in this story, but does it work? Well, theology and idealisms aside, it still has its share of blood, booze, and big-breasted women serving the booze, and certainly more than qualifies as a way to start off another headed toward Halloween Hammer episode. In other words, boys, it's Hammer time.
Transylvania, land of dark forests, dread mountains, and black, unfathomed lakes.
Isn't the thing that's dead supposed to be dead for all time? But we brought it back to life.
Gentlemen, no ordinary wolf who has done this thing.
What are you afraid of?
Tell you what I'm afraid of.
Her?
Our opening thoughts.
Our opening
All right,
thoughts.
give us our opening. What are our opening thoughts? Dean, start us off.
I don't know. Like I love all the Hammer Dracula movies, but I don't know if this is one of my favorite of all of them. I can see why it would be, but you know, I'll stand up for Brian saying it is his favorite. Because I wouldn't want to diss on anything that Brian loves.
I like how that came back around.
But
I see what's happening here. That's right.
Yeah, I love it. I love Dracula in it. I kind of almost don't want to get into too much detail but it is one that like the whole is better than the sum of its parts for me. Like I love it in the way that I love all the Hammer movies, but this one doesn't have as many giant set pieces that I love a lot. So that's all I'll say about it for now on that. I'll do a quick thought because there's definitely a lot of more I want to dive into.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on par with you on this. I like this movie a lot. It's one of the better Dracula sequels in my opinion, but there are those that I like more, if that makes sense. I love them all. I mean, I'm a big Dracula fan and a big Hammer Dracula fan, so there really hasn't been a terrible one for me. But there are some things that bother me in this one, and I'll get to that.
Okay.
Right.
I will just say that for a Dracula movie, it didn't really seem to have a lot of actual Dracula in it, and that bugged me. When he was on screen, he's great. He always gives such a great performance as that character. So, you know, I knew I was getting there, but it seemed like it was focused more on the townsfolk. Definitely some fun scenes and characters, though, and I'm honestly very surprised that this was Hammer's highest grossing film.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Yeah,
Huh.
That has a lot to do with the deal. This was the first
Warner 7 Arts?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was their
Distributed
first.
by,
And I believe also the reason
they had like a big backing behind it. Oh, smart.
that you have trouble getting better copies of this on DVD and stuff because that
Warner Brothers has it tied up.
Has it.
Okay.
Oh, there goes Warner Brothers.
That's what
fucking
Warner
something
Brothers
else up.
does best, right?
They do that very well.
The tracks.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't have a collector's edition of this movie.
No,
I just have that shitty DVD one.
Shout Factory put one out 5 years ago?
Not of this one, though, right?
I don't think so.
thought they did. I'm pretty sure I have this on Blu-ray.
It's on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a Shout Factory. I might be wrong, but I would want
We'll
to
have to
own
check.
that.
I want to check now because
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've gone through my Hammer collection, which unfortunately is upstairs. Otherwise, I'd go over there and take a look. But I don't feel like climbing the stairs right now. But
Just step up.
I got to step up.
Gotta watch
That's right.
Step Up. It'll
Step up
motivate
1
you.
through 6.
How about you, Brian?
Did you already go, Derek?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for paying attention to me.
You're welcome.
flashback.
I had nothing. No, this is a bug.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
And the Shadow is a great movie too.
I like
I think the Shadow is very underrated.
It's not good, but I like it.
I think it's good. Shut up.
All right,
Brian.
Stupid.
I said I had nothing.
Oh, you got nothing.
No, I had no.
End of flashback.
Before I even knew what a Hammer film was, I was drawn to this movie as a kid. I remember seeing this movie many times on Saturday afternoons on Creature Double Feature. I remember Dracula snarling with his bloodshot eyes. I vividly remember the rooftop sets that the characters would use to get from one place to the other, and I distinctly remember the finale where Dracula meets his gruesome end. I love everything about this movie back then, and even more so after rediscovering it many years later when I started collecting all the Hammer horror I could find on DVD and Blu-ray. 1958's Dracula was amazing, but this one, in my eyes, was the best of all the many Dracula sequels.
Nice. Okay, Tito.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Derek.
Oh.
Because of all the Dracula movies I've seen, I feel like he doesn't really play a big part in a lot of them. There's very little Christopher Lee.
I was holding off to say that.
Yeah,
there's very little Christopher Lee, but what this movie didn't do, what those other movies do, they gave me
doo-doo paper.
Doo-doo paper. You gotta throw doo-doo paper at me. It gave me a cast that I really like. I didn't like.
Okay.
Whereas in the other films that I've seen, I like the cast a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Paul character. I do like the idea of the introduction of atheism into the film. I think that's kind of cool. I didn't like the Monsignor that much.
No.
And who's the lady?
Veronica Carlson.
Veronica Carlson. Beautiful woman.
As Maria.
Yes, but because the other two characters are so boring to me, she becomes even more boring to me.
Yeah.
Where in some of those movies, I think the female leads can be kind of just, eye candy. There's not always a lot of interesting things about them. The other characters are so disinteresting to me that it just falls flat. Where I think this movie needs way more Christopher Lee for it to work for me. Like I need him Christopher Leeing the whole fucking movie.
Right.
And he's just not getting enough screen time. So that kind of it didn't hit for me.
Okay. Are we doing categories?
I wrote down categories just in case, but
spitball some categories.
Sure.
Fire them off. All right.
Yeah. Dean, you got a favorite scene?
Favorite scene. I guess the end, like when he falls on the cross, like that. It is, or the opening with the girl and the bell, which
that's a good scene too.
Which I always get confused with Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
because the husband hangs upside down, and I always. That's
I
how
saw
I
that
get
one.
That's what we did last year.
Yeah. There's too many.
That I always get that mixed up. That it's like, oh, the husband's up in the bell. Like, oh no.
Yeah,
it is.
It's an unnamed woman.
Yeah,
with amazing cleavage.
Great.
Isn't it always though?
Usually.
A pair of breasts.
Great. Ouch. I like the Monsignor at the beginning. I don't like him at the end. I don't like when he just becomes this old curmudgeon. I like when he's not afraid to go up to the castle and he's got the giant cross on his back and he's climbing up this huge ass mountain.
And the cowardly priest chickens out and decides to stay behind.
And you got this great musical score playing, and he just looks like a badass vampire. Vampire hunter, excuse me. And I was kind of hoping it would lead more toward him and less on the kids when I first saw it. I didn't care. I like the kids. They're fine, but he was cool in the beginning, and I just like that scene. I just love the idea of this guy with this giant cross strapped to his back.
That is so cool.
Cool looking.
Can I interrupt our category?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think they originally wanted the father from the last movie to be that?
The one who's like heat in his ass.
Yeah.
Sandor.
Awesome.
That was originally written to be, because that would have been
been great, and it would have tied this
better.
one.
It would have made more sense.
Right.
He was a better actor.
He really was.
And, and a lot more
charismatic.
Yeah. And it's kind of, I think that's where the he's not as interesting.
Yeah.
He's not. He has some charming moments to him,
but he doesn't want his ass.
Overall,
no.
Overall,
he just comes home and his wife or whoever the lady is,
his
sister or whatever,
sister-in-law
takes his slippers off.
Sister-in-law, because that's his niece.
He's the uncle. Yeah.
She's the wife.
He's kind of stepping in because the brother died.
Right.
His brother died.
I'll actually say, looking for the interesting characters. I actually found her the most engaging character in the...
Who, the sister-in-law?
The sister-in-law,
yeah.
Ernst. Ernst.
Yeah.
Let
Sorry
me
to
fix
interrupt
your
that, but
slippers.
that was my thought on him. Like that might have been somewhere. I can't find any information on the making of this in that.
Yeah.
I would love to know if that was an original thought.
Yeah.
And my other... Oh, sorry.
Because it would just make the revenge angle of it make a lot more sense.
Yeah, it would have been... I agree. It would have been better with that other actor. I don't know if that's what they did, but it would make sense. I like any scene where they're going around on the rooftops. I think is really cool.
Oh, that's always fun in
That's
those
just,
movies in
it's
general.
cool when Dracula
Yeah.
is, doing this, thing, chasing somebody or being chased on a rooftop. It's always a standard Hammer thing, and it's cool. Those are mine. Yep.
Nice. Mine was the opening with the Monsignor on the steps with the lightning flashing. That was a really cool looking scene. Dracula and the priest returning to the castle and him seeing the cross on the door. And then he says the thing that we have in our opening.
Done this thing.
Yep. And the impaling scene, obviously. Yeah. Also, when I forget the girl's name, is it Xena?
Xena.
She's upset that Dracula wants Maria, and he just slaps her down.
Oh, I hate that. That bugged me.
You like when Dracula slaps a woman?
I was just like, wow, it's very like pimp smacking a hoe. It kind of
Dracula keeping his pimp hand strong, huh?
Right. It gives him some street cred, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Blackula never slapped any of his vampire brides. No, never.
I don't know. That's what I felt like. I liked it. I don't
like watching.
I don't endorse it. No, I don't condone it or endorse it.
I knew
the views of Derek Green now do not necessarily reflect those of the
Sure.
rest of the three geeky dads.
Everything always gets twisted when I speak.
It's all in good fun.
I'm all for Dracula turning women into vampires, but for some reason, slapping them to the floor bothered me. I was like, oh, he's mean.
It did.
I was like,
I agree.
That's hilarious.
It just feels like he should be above that.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't need to result to.
She should be a vampire.
She's fucking annoying.
She's
one of the most annoying
I don't
characters.
think she's annoying. I think
she
no.
is.
No.
Yep.
No,
I
don't
her.
think she's annoying. I love Xena.
I love Xena,
I absolutely
too.
love Xena.
Yeah.
Xena wanted Paul, and then Veronica Carlson shows up and
Paul,
cock blocks the two of them.
Mama.
Yeah.
Oh, she's awesome. It would have been cool if we saw a little more vampire Xena. That's not enough vampires.
Yeah, I know. Agreed.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So my favorite scenes, I've got Paul and the Monsignor politely arguing over dinner about the atheism thing.
That is a good scene.
Followed by the scene where he slinks back to the inn/bakery, gets drunk, and then gets seduced by Xena, the barmaid, only to be cock-blocked by Maria. I love the fight on the rooftops between the Monsignor and Dracula. And, of course, the finale, like Dean said, where Dracula dies in this spectacularly gruesome manner, even for a Hammer film, falling from the cliff face of his castle that it's perched on, only to be impaled on the very golden cross the Monsignor used to bar Dracula from returning to his home.
That is a great scene.
Love that ending.
Unfortunately, if you see Taste the Blood of Dracula, which follows that one, it kind of
you got to watch those two in order because that one
bit.
picks up immediately.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
Immediately.
Same. Is there a Paul and a Monsignor?
No, they're all gone. But
Monsignor. No, this has a cult. Actually, it's quite a different
Cult.
take. It's actually a good one too.
Yeah.
So many Draculas.
So many Draculas. So
I'm with these guys. I really, really like the Xena character because she's fun.
Fun. I know, but I think
she's very fun. I think she's a fun character. I like the scene where she's introduced. I think Hammer has created some characters, female, that are fairly strong. I think she is too, but clearly she is not treated well by anyone in this film, including the guys in the bar. But I like that scene where she's introduced and she plays it up, her position in that bar really, really well. And she's just really, really interesting. She's interesting to me. Where I think it was Veronica Carlson.
Yeah, it's the blonde Maria.
She's so beautiful.
She is.
But if I had to choose, I'd probably go Xena because I'd probably have more fun.
More of a personality.
Yeah, just has more personality, which I just really enjoyed about her.
Yeah.
So probably that. And I didn't even think about it, but I do really like the scene over dinner where they're discussing like faith. Which I think is really cool.
He says, you wanted me to be truthful. He says, like, do you want a cigar? No, they make me sick. Oh, I like that. You're not afraid to speak your mind. Well,
not enough people say what's really on their minds.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm an atheist. What the?
Dean, are there things about this movie that don't work for you?
There is a lot. Like it's kind of one of those things because it is something that I love. Like, so the stuff that doesn't work for me kind of stands out. Like it is, and again, like I love it as a whole, but I don't. Is it Paul?
Paul.
Is Paul?
Yeah. Is either Paul or Hans in a Hammer film?
That's what I was thinking. Like, isn't there another Paul in mine? I was thinking like he's the love child of.
Wait, who are you going to say? I have one written down too.
I was going to say Roger Daltrey.
Oh shit! And who's just one of mine?
And the one that you said,
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
No, I had Michael Crawford.
Oh, see, no, I didn't.
Michael Crawford.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely could see Roger Daltrey.
It's funny that you say that.
But I don't like him. Like he's a little too. I kind of almost feel like these characters are a little old for what they're playing.
Yeah.
He comes off a little too edgy and not like he comes across a lot more abrasive. So when he's doing the whole, because he's supposed to be kind of an innocent guy who's like, oh, I just had one beer. When he does kind of come off more like the fraternity guy, and not and so when he's having that argument over atheism and this, I'm kind of having a hard time as an atheist myself, like who am I siding with on this? Because he's just being rude at dinner. Like, I'm kind of like, I've got my beliefs, but if I went to the house of the Monsignor,
I'm keeping that to myself.
Like I don't care what you talk about cigars. Like I would keep that to myself.
You told me to speak my mind.
And later on, when he's like, here, say something, it'll kill Dracula, and he's like, you can't. I'm an atheist. I'd be like, I would find God in that moment.
Oh yeah,
I would.
I think most people would.
Yeah, if I were up against a vampire, I wouldn't stand on my principles.
Yeah.
And be like, well, actually,
I think he's very cocky, but I do like him. I like him when he's drunk because then he's just himself, and then he's got one of my favorite quotes, and we'll get to it. But then he drops the whole preppy, pretentious facade, and then he's just this kind of like regular dude working in a bakery, just trying to win the girl. That kind of wins me over.
Right. Well, I think that he's just a regular guy trying to study, but he's trying to do it in the wrong environment.
Yeah.
He's always surrounded by drunk people. He's got to work for Michael Ripper, who's a drunk himself.
Yeah, but a happy guy.
He is a happy guy.
This is like the happiest I've ever seen Michael Ripper in a Hammer movie.
Yeah.
Michael Ripper gets the MVP. I forget whether this is. He gets the MVP in this because he is playing so against every other Michael Ripper character.
Either a grumpy father, a grumpy innkeeper, or a just a sardonic drunk.
He's Geppetto in this. Like they literally.
He is Geppetto.
He hits on Xena at one point. He's like, you sure you don't want to come back and stay with me?
No, he's fantastic in this. Like, and I do. I think if both the male and female lead in it, like Veronica Carlson, she is stunning in a unique sort of way.
Yeah.
I find her like almost invisible eyebrows intriguing. But not like she does not exude the innocence and a pureness that character is supposed to have to balance him. So there isn't that like, I'm the Monsignor's niece.
Yeah.
I'm going to be turned, where she just looks like a supermodel the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's the basic structural thing that bothers me about it is those characters kind of agreeing 100% with Tito's original thing. The movie does focus on those characters the whole time, and they're just not as charming as some of the other Hammer characters that we've come across. But overall, again, the movie has its, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's the tone of it, the setting, everything makes me feel good when I watch it. But if I were to have to come on a podcast and say like what makes this good, it's harder to describe the things that make me like it than the things that I have issues with.
Things that don't work. Very little Dracula victims. The thing that makes the Dracula films great, you see it in Dracula AD And you see it in Scars of Dracula. You see it in Prince of Darkness is when they start out normal and then they're vampires and they're allowed to be vampires for a while. We don't have any of that here, and it's kind of a letdown. It's a big letdown for me. No Peter Cushing, which is like, kind of brings most of the Dracula sequels down.
Yeah. We don't see Cushing again until Dracula AD 72.
Exactly, yeah. Dracula slapping a woman. I said it once before. I don't mind if he bites him or turns him, but slapping him, I don't know. Doesn't seem right. Seems like that's beneath Dracula to slap somebody. I don't know.
It's like when he's like in the other movie.
He's not an NBA player.
When he stabs that woman with a knife, it's like, why does Dracula need a knife?
Exactly. Well, maybe he just got the knife and he's bored.
What does God need with a starship? It's like
killing Xena, not giving her a chance to roam as a vampire, and those are essentially it. Those are the real big things that bother me.
Is that the first time in a movie you actually see one of his vampires like be defiant to him though? Do you see that in any other Dracula films?
Yeah, I think it kind of is.
I'm trying to think.
Because he does have thralls. The only one that kind of stands up to him is Patrick Troughton. When is that in Scars of Dracula?
Yeah.
When he finds the picture of the girl and he falls in love with it.
And
then he kind of turns on Dracula towards the end.
And he does
He's
have
like, no, she's mine.
And he does have a vampire woman living in the castle that tries to deceive him.
Yes.
And get the
That's in the first one. In Hard Dracula.
No, in Scars of Dracula.
Scars?
Yeah, he's got himself a lady vampire living there, and she tries to feed off the main hero first.
You're
before
right.
He has
You're
a
right.
chance
It was
to.
Scars.
And as a matter of fact, I think that's the girl he stabs.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So
there you go. That's what happens when you talk back to Dracula.
Right, that's right.
He gets real human on you.
Yeah, but for some reason, stabbing doesn't bother. I don't know. I'm weird.
So in the original novel, and I forget whether it translates into any of the movies, the brides are defiant because they're like you.
Right.
You're not giving us attention.
Yeah,
exactly.
But he doesn't kill them. He just tells them, "Go away.
Yeah.
He's mine. Get out of here. Scat. Shoo.
Here's a
Shoo,
baby.
Ladies. Here's a baby.
There's
Eat a
no
baby.
slapping in Dracula.
Baby smell.
Baby smell.
Baby
slap.
smell. Eat the baby.
Don't eat the baby.
Well, I was going to say the lack of Dracula, but then you guys made me feel bad about the fact that he's been lacking in screen time in other movies.
Maybe that's what's not working for you in every single.
That's true.
Horror
It is.
Dracula
It's like
film.
I came to see Dracula. Give me fucking Dracula.
Yeah. It's like Moon Knight, huh?
I'm with you, especially when he's got lines.
Right.
When he's getting lines, give him more
Right.
screen time. If he's not saying anything the whole movie,
Because initially I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this must be the one that they were talking about where he doesn't talk much, and I'm like, no. He does. That's in the other movie, and he doesn't talk at all.
Prince of Darkness
Yeah.
has no lines
So I'm like,
whatsoever.
He didn't want to talk.
I'm like, no, it's not that then. So they just
Even the ones that he has a lot of lines in, he barely has any lines.
Yeah.
In. Like there's still.
I mean, he's not in a lot of the movies.
Any
a
of them.
lot, yeah.
Any of them.
But I think that's kind of cool. So when you see him, it's pretty powerful every time. You know, you don't get bored with him.
The other thing I wasn't a fan of was the bite makeup.
But that's the same in all the Hammer.
I feel like it's not always as big and clumpy as it is.
I do think it was a little clumpier.
Yeah, like I've definitely seen better in Hammer.
Yeah, but I still think it's good.
Yeah.
And it's definitely been done better, but I don't hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it.
Immediately on the first sight of it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching a movie.
as you're saying it, I'm thinking.
They glue 2 Cheerios to her neck.
That's a lot of oatmeal.
That's a good idea. Brian, what?
What doesn't work for me is most of the scenes with the cowardly priest. He kind of drags the film to a halt whenever he's on screen. He really does. I do not like his character. I after listening to this, Dean, you really made a good point, and I kind of am leaning towards you when you said that we both love this movie, but the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And now that we're discussing it, I can see all of your points, but I still love it for the charm that it is. This was like one of the first Hammer movies that I gravitated to before I even knew that Hammer films were a thing.
Right.
And it is the one that I always go to. If there's something I want to put on in the background, if I want a Hammer film, it's this one.
It's a good-looking movie. It's very comforting.
It really
is.
It's
got a great score. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's a great film. But yeah,
and I can forgive all of that stuff.
Do you think
guys
that,
brought up. I really can.
But do you think you feel that way? Like it's your favorite, maybe because of that?
It could be a lot of nostalgia,
it's
but
the
I
Beverly
mean,
Hills Cop 3, like us.
Right.
It could be. But I mean, I've watched all the other ones too,
Yeah.
and I do like. I should say I do love them all.
Yeah.
I love all of the Hammer Dracula movies, with maybe the exception of the 7 golden vampires at the end. They get a little silly.
I had high hopes for that one.
Yeah,
I thought it was all right.
It was
fun.
okay.
It's fun.
It was okay, but definitely not up to Hammer's standards. And maybe because Christopher Lee was not in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my favorite. I love Horror of Dracula. Absolutely love. I think that's a near perfect Hammer film. Christopher Lee.
It sets the
Peter
standard.
Cushing. It
Yeah.
sets the standard.
Yeah.
It sets the mood for all the rest of them, and it's a very high bar for them to reach again. I think that, in my eyes, I think this one is the one that comes the closest, followed maybe closely by Dracula, Prince of Darkness. I really like that one too.
Prince of Darkness is awesome.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness is my favorite.
Yeah.
really like
as
that
far
one
as
a
the
lot. That
sequels
was the
go,
one we
or
got.
of all of them?
As far as the sequels go.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this one will always be the best.
I want to jump on your.
And
oh, sorry. Go.
yeah,
go
no.
on.
I'm pretty much. I'm wrapping it up. Like I said, the only thing that really doesn't. I really don't like the cowardly priest character. I think he's boring. I really don't think he adds much to the story. I think if you took him out of the film,
I don't like. I don't like him.
He's a
I
terrible
agree with you.
Renfield. If
Yeah,
that's,
he really
if
is.
that's
But
the
I
idea.
do like the idea that a henchman, one of Dracula's henchmen, is a priest for a change. It's not a hunchback. It's
That's
not like
true.
some
But it would have been a
commoner.
lot cooler
It's
if he
not-
had turned the Monsignor as his henchman, and
Which
then went after
That might
Veronica
have been
Carlson
good too. But
You know,
just
it's like,
having
I've got
a
you
man of
now.
the cloth,
I
any
wanna-
man of the cloth,
Right.
as his Renfield
Right.
type character, it's different.
No,
So,
I totally agree.
They kind of do that in The Vampire Lovers, where like
They
the
do.
head of
You're
the
right.
school,
Right.
who's
Yes,
like
you're right.
the guy that's like the big alpha male that's supposed to protect him in alpha male and like power
Yeah.
structure, not a handsome man.
Yes.
But he is the one of the first people turned that ends up becoming the henchman. Who
Yeah.
you think he's going to be the hero,
Yeah.
and he
Nope.
ends up being the
Yeah.
henchman. But I actually, I don't know if I disagree with you or just look at it from a different angle on the priest. I think that's what fascinates me on this movie. That you have the person who is supposed to be the hero.
Right.
Like the religion is supposed to be the thing that saves you. in
exactly.
this.
It's the antithesis to Dracula.
Right. And he has such a weird haircut. He goes to
Oh, he looks like Larry Fine on a bad day.
he looks like, the medieval version of Lobot.
Yeah, he does. Who was in? He was actually in a Hammer movie. He was in the Captain Chronos Vampire Hunt.
Is
That's
he
right.
really?
He was the
Yeah.
barman.
Yep.
He was the barman when they had that fight against the asshole in the bar.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
did know that in For Your Eyes Only,
He shows up in that too?
He's the Blofeld that gets dropped in the tower. Yeah,
he's the stand-in for the Blofeld.
Yeah.
You never see his face.
Right.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was him.
I kept thinking the hair I was thinking was the bad guys in The Last Starfighter.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
yeah.
When you say Lobot,
yes.
I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, no, definitely the
does.
Last
He looks like
Starfighter
him.
guy.
I just wanted to
Zurg.
shave it. Just shave,
Yeah.
guy. What are you holding on
But
to?
there's something I find him like ridiculously creepy. Like
Yeah.
his kind of like, I'm on your side, but I'm not on your
Yeah.
side. Like his kind of going back
Yeah.
and forth. And agreed, I wish he was a little bit less of a wuss. Like, because it does like
Yeah.
drag stuff out.
He
of
It
it.
would have
really
been,
does.
yeah. If he was a bit more menacing, that would have worked.
Yeah. Something. He's
Yeah.
just there,
Yeah.
and he doesn't add much to the story when he's there. Take him out.
What's funny is because you've got the like very strong religious conviction, and then you've got the no religious conviction, and then you have the character that is supposed to have religious conviction,
But lost his
but
faith.
lost his faith
Yeah.
and doesn't like
Yeah.
in the face of
Right.
evil is just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm done.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Yeah, you take care of it, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Michael Ripp is just baking bread.
He is.
as they do. I got a couple of quick ones. Actually, has to do with the hair. Every male character's hair in this movie doesn't work for me, except for Christopher Lee's, because he always
Agreed.
looks slick. And then, like, I know why they made this movie, but if there's a cross stuck in the door and the priest is standing in front of you, why not just make that priest take the cross off the door instead of sending him on this journey to town that involves Dracula then going to town to come back with the priest to take the cross off the door? I don't understand.
Could
that.
he not do it?
Yeah, no,
Because-
that is
Was he under his influence, or is that really
no?
just
Because he ended up
poorly
having
written.
Veronica.
Poorly written.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there is a lot in this that does not make sense.
I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's not even that guy who has to do it. Like, anybody can take the fucking cross off the door.
Anybody who's not Dracula.
You have to go to town, all the way to town for this?
Yeah, there's that inn right down the road. Just nab one of those guys.
That was one of those things.
But it's all that garlic, you can't get in there.
That was just one of those things where I was just like, I can't forgive this. I don't like you.
It's like the birds flying the hobbits to where they need to go.
Right.
Yeah. It is. It has the problem that I think almost every Hammer movie from this point on gives Dracula a vengeance thing that
kind of
means
is.
nothing. Like there is he's getting revenge in each subsequent movie for something that doesn't matter or something that doesn't. Like it's like you're getting revenge for putting a cross on the door that someone can just take off the door.
Yeah.
Like literally the man who's standing next to you
Can just do it.
Can just do it. Yeah.
He'll be happy as a clam.
Okay, again,
best
though,
day of your life.
Hold on. In Scars of Dracula, his vengeance makes sense and it works.
Which one?
That's when they, find another dead girl. They've had enough. All the men in the village go and they storm the castle. They burn the castle. They burn everything to the ground. Dracula manages to escape via bat and kill all the women while they're busy destroying his home. See,
okay.
That's him doing what he needs to do.
Because what's the one where they were away? They kill his henchman, so he's going on revenge.
Yeah.
For killing his henchman, which makes no sense at all.
Dean, does anything work for you?
A lot works. I wish I had known the categories ahead of time. I should listen to this show.
I didn't know.
Be a subscriber, Dean.
I do listen.
You'll never miss an upcoming episode.
You take a summer off and I forget.
It's our fault.
Yeah.
So a lot
we haven't
works.
been on much lately.
Christopher Lee obviously works in this. I'm not a giant fan of the really bloodshot eyes.
Really? I like that because it distinguishes himself from the Bela Lugosi version. I like that.
I agree, but he's got such a presence to him himself.
Oh, he does anyway, but it just adds a little something extra.
Michael
the bloodshot cherry on top.
I found Michael Ripper fantastic in this, and I also love the rooftop chases.
Yeah,
too.
fantastic.
Whenever I see the bloodshot eyes, I instantly think, oh, somebody's going to chase somebody now. Like they're going to run around a shed or a roof or a fucking cat.
Like a Scooby-Doo.
Something that works sometimes and something that completely doesn't work other times.
Cats?
Yeah.
The colored lens.
Yeah, the filter that they use.
It looked totally great in some scenes, and in other scenes it's just like,
why did we use
I thought I was seeing things at first.
I loved it. I thought somebody put a magnet to my TV. I was like, somebody put a magnet to my TV? What the fuck?
Here's where the Zack Snyder thing comes back.
I love it.
Watching this in the 70s on a 4x3 TV, those filter effects were cut off on either end. Never saw them as a kid. Never saw them as a kid. Watching it for the first time on
4x3.
Seriously.
That's hilarious.
Watching it again for the first time on Blu-ray or DVD like about 5 to 7 years ago when I rediscovered this movie, it bugged me. I never knew those were there. I've grown accustomed to them and used to them now. I kind of, in my mind, I think my mind erases them. I don't even notice it anymore when I watch it again.
See,
it did really bother me the first time. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like that.
When we watched it last year, we projected it, and so it was like watching it big. It's very blatant.
Oh yeah,
and being a Zack Snyder fan, a fan of people who color a scene and do something like take an artistic take on something. I like it in the coloring. I didn't like being able to see what the lens was.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of takes you out a little bit.
Right. Sometimes in the close-ups, you got it really good looking, and other times it looked garbage.
Same.
Yeah.
I have, again, Michael Ripper is a nice guy. Dracula, I like that Dracula's Renfield-esque person in this is a priest. The idea of an atheist confronting a superstitious villain is cool. And the sets are awesome. And I love the music in the movie.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Agreed. The music, the sets, Christopher Lee. Most things work for me. And it's just, there's a couple little things.
I don't even remember the music. I'm going to be honest with you. I think while I was watching this movie, I was just like,
Why am I
I'm not
watching this
into it, so the
movie?
the music wasn't really.
I don't remember it so much, like exactly. Like I couldn't hum what the themes were, but
why?
Because I don't know. It's fucking whatever. I don't know. It's
funny,
but I remember while I was watching, I was enjoying the music.
We're enjoying the song.
As someone who has like
We're gonna have
a lot
whole
of
big marches. A boom, boom, boom.
Hammer soundtracks.
very-
This one actually has a very pretty score. Like you can kind of like you might not notice it unless you know the tune, and then like when you're like, oh, that's a really pretty song, which you don't notice tremendously in the movie, but on like the best of Hammer music soundtracks, you do like, oh, that's from this.
It's like now this is Hammer Volume 42.
Well, turn it up.
Now that's what I call Hammer.
Come on, ride a train and ride it.
Brian.
I love Christopher Lee as Dracula, Veronica Carlson as Maria, Michael Ripper he's got a fairly sizable part as Max the innkeeper. They're all wonderful in this film. Of course, I mentioned before the sets, particularly the rooftop sets, are amazing, and the music as well. Love the music.
I want to play that drinking game they're playing. You know, when they're singing. They
the song is that song's great.
Balance a beer on a stick.
Get a beer on a stick. Don't drop the beer. If you drop the beer,
you're one of us.
To drink another beer.
I love how the singing is only on the soundtrack, and there is no one in that entire.
Oh, I know.
And I also love the difference in bars that they have. Like the bar in town is all college students.
Oh yeah,
and then like
they all
you've got
wear
the
like little sailor hats.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And then you've got like the rustic bar that's all just
the old man.
drunks. The old man.
Yeah, they're all terrified.
Yeah.
Too. Broken and terrified. So the thing that really works for me is the thing that Dean was talking about. I absolutely love how it looks like my screen has been attacked by magnets. But it was a couple of times where at one point I was like, oh, wait a minute. Something's up on my screen. Oh, this is kind of cool. I like the chance.
Yeah.
Right? That the creator or the creative is taking in that scenario to try to give some kind of
It's every time the
three-dimensional feel to the scene.
It's
right?
every time the castle or Dracula are on screen.
Right. Yeah. Which I thought was kind of cool. I thought that was a cool.
I don't get what they were
trick.
going for though.
Art.
It was supposed to invoke menace or dread every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
They darkened the edges of the screen a bit. Yeah.
It's almost like the folk Dracula then, or the castles then, like "Brr," right here for you.
Yeah.
Like, part of the movie to a certain extent. I thought it was kind of cool, especially for the time period where the film was made.
Cool.
You got a quote from this film that you might like, Dean?
The who has done this? Who has done this thing?
I'm sure that's on all of ours.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Yeah, I got it too.
I figured people would pick that one, so I went with "What have you done with my legs?"
That's on my list.
Drunken Paul.
Very funny.
Zena, does she kiss you like that? I'll bet she doesn't.
Yeah.
And yes, Paul, run home to mama, or whatever. That's a good one too. And that's it.
I like the what have you done with my legs? I
love that
thought
one,
was fucking hysterical.
I
Really
love
did.
scenes when people are drunk. And that's one of my favorite drunk person scenes. It's right up there with Jimmy Stewart in the Philadelphia Story. The best drunk performance in a movie, I think. But
That line almost felt like it was
show my
out of
grandmother
place,
for a drink.
which made me. What have you done with my legs? Almost seemed so out of place to me that I thought it was hysterical. Because I just don't imagine a line like that in a Hammer
what are
film.
you doing in my bed? I don't know. I just
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what made me like that guy.
It's very good.
Yeah.
He should have been drunk the whole movie.
Yeah, maybe.
I had The Truth. What do you want with that? If you want to be a success in life, forget the truth.
Michael Ripper.
Like, it's a great quote.
Very good.
Yeah, I've got the who has done this thing, and I've got your dumplings are falling over, Xena. As she's bending over the table in a low-cut blouse.
Man,
Xena.
I love her.
I love
do
Xena.
too.
Yeah,
I love Xena. She's a wonderful gal.
Who has done this thing? Your dumplings are boiling over, Xena. And what have you done with my legs? One of my favorite quotes. Dean, too long, too short. What's missing? What don't we need?
It's a perfect length. I love a good hour-and-a-half movie.
Same.
Yeah,
I think we can all agree on that.
I agree. Perfect
Yeah,
length.
I like it. Yeah.
Derek?
I a little bit. I would have liked a little bit more Dracula. I guess that's
But
about
okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, lengthwise,
movie
Fine.
length.
Would you
Yeah,
add more movie to it for more Dracula, or would you cut some stuff out for more Dracula?
I would.
I would have given him more to do, and because I really don't know as much as I didn't like that there was so much townsfolk stuff. I think it all kind of added and should be there. So I don't think I'd cut that stuff and add more Dracula. I think I'd make it longer and
A longer film.
Yeah,
I'd like to have seen Dracula.
Some more
play the
victims.
drinking game, quite
Right.
frankly.
Exactly.
Let me have a go at this,
He'd never
boys.
lose. He would
It's got a
never
cup of
lose.
blood up there. If
Balance
you
all that
drink
shit.
the blood
Of Dracula. I say it's perfect in an hour and a half. I agree with Derek. I think we need more Dracula in the film, though. Like I said earlier, get rid of the priest, add more Dracula.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense that Dracula, without the priest, Dracula could not have gotten that
had to
cross,
have
and
gone.
that's why he goes back to the town.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Problem solved. We could have written this movie.
Yeah, I like Brian's idea. Get rid of that priest because I didn't like him when he was
Yeah.
on screen. He was a drag.
I like, make
he wasn't
the
like
Monsignor a priest, too.
I don't know. He wasn't like creepy enough.
No, he
was just kinda
wasn't. He
like-
was just there.
Yeah,
and he
he-
didn't do much.
He was just a scared little man. He was
Yeah.
a
Right,
scared
right.
little,
Yeah.
older man.
Mm-hmm.
An embarrassment
Yeah.
to his mother.
He was for sure.
More Dracula. I'll combine your more Dracula victims. I don't need more
Yeah.
Dracula, but I need more.
I would have liked to see
Either
Dracula stalking more people in the town
or
now
at
that
least
he's
more
there.
vampires. You know, have a few knocking. You know, you got those great rooftops. Have a few knocking on
Yeah,
those windows.
absolutely.
Like Salem's Lot.
Absolutely.
know?
You've got that great set with Veronica Carlson's window, and he's there.
Absolutely.
You know, oh,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Do
do that for another
in
couple
Brides
of.
of Dracula when what's her name's going after the other what's her name and she's a vampire now. I
Yeah.
can't remember their
Yeah.
names, but have Xena at what's her name's window.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
You know,
Like Salem's Lot. She's hovering there.
So she wasn't a
rapping on that
vampire?
kid's window.
she was, but she was dead.
I think she was a thrall.
They killed her.
I don't think she was a vampire yet.
No, but what happened was he
bit
her. She
Yeah.
died. She turned, and then they burnt her, so she couldn't unlive on. Or
She never
whatever
gets
it
a
is.
chance to
She
feed
never
or
gets a
whatever.
chance
See, I
to
thought
feed.
she was just bitten. She was just a thrall, not
No, you
not
see,
a
'cause
vampire.
when she passes out, you do see fangs.
You
in
do?
her mouth.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never noticed that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the lore in Hammer? Is it he drinks your blood, you drink his blood, or is it just a bite?
I think it's just a bite. Hammer just gets right to the chase.
in
I
the
think
sequel.
Hammer bounces back and forth
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he does slit his chest on one of the.
Oh, he
Horror
does, doesn't he?
Dracula,
Oh,
where he
there is one.
makes
I
her-
remember
Yeah.
saying that.
What horror Dracula? The one. Yeah.
Well, you drink my blood, I drink your
yeah,
blood.
that makes sense actually.
I always like that one
Mm-hmm.
because then you can get like victims that you don't have to worry about later, and you're just like, I don't want this fucker coming back. You know, they're not that interesting. I just
That's
need their
true.
blood.
But
Yeah.
also, it gives you the opportunity on, like, you get a longer period of time. Like he doesn't get the victim in just one visit. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that drawn out
Yeah,
thing.
Right.
that-
Yeah, like in Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Yeah.
you know, or
or just milking
or in
them,
the
Keeps-
Bela
keeps
Lugosi
feeding
one, he
on
keeps
her.
coming
Yeah.
back.
On her.
It's like a parasite.
Yeah.
milking
Yeah,
that
I
bitch.
like that too.
I mean, it's got Christopher Lee. Would you put Peter Cushing?
Yeah, I know.
Peter
That's a weird
Cushing or
category. Do you want to
Christopher
just
Lee?
skip over that one?
I-
Peter Cushing or
I
Christopher
would.
Lee?
Yeah, Peter Cushing in any other role.
Yeah,
any role.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throw him in this movie.
Absolutely.
Peter Cushing. yeah.
Bring back Van Helsing.
Yeah, Una
Or
O'Connor,
as
Derek.
and I'd put Una as the as Xena. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
oh,
no,
you're crazy.
As
We're going to stop with the Una.
as a sister-in-law.
Derek,
As the sister-in-law.
Derek, that was 6 months ago. People don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
No, I'm keeping that alive. I love this.
I'd put her as the sister-in-law.
The sister-in-law. Get me fetch your slippers now.
It's only the slippers,
That's actually what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, that actually would work.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what didn't work for me actually? That you mentioned it, and I was thinking about it earlier. The
No, Una?
semi-sexual tension between him and his sister-in-law.
That
You
didn't
think
work
there
for
was?
you?
No,
Oh, see, I think that's
because I didn't
like,
realize they were brother.
one of the
I
most
assumed
realistic
brother
things in
and
this
sister-in-law. I was
I
just
didn't
like, oh,
think
they're brother
I
and
didn't see
sister.
any of that in there.
Yeah.
You didn't when he's like, I wish you were my wife.
Yeah, well, or you see, you're like my wife. She's like,
Yeah.
not in every way.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
They got
yeah.
this
Yeah.
little-
Yeah.
I see what
let me flog your bishop.
is it in Mark's rotation?
of course it is.
I say absolutely.
I don't think so.
oh, I think so.
Yeah, it is. This is one I watch once a year with all the rest of them.
Once a year. I'll give it to you.
It's in my rotation.
All right.
If I'm in the mood for a Hammer one, there are others I'd put on before it, but I'd watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah. I watch this every couple of months.
Whatever happened to
Anything, whatever happened to anything, Dean? Like anything. What
Predictability.
Do you know? Yeah. Are you noticing something that's lacking in vampire movies or anything of today? Like, what do you want to see brought back?
There's just not there really aren't any vampire coming in and wreaking havoc movies. Like they're either complete monsters or they're completely romantic. There's not a lot of
in between.
Good,
yeah.
Nice.
Vampires.
Yeah, because what was
virus,
the which I like the one on the boat.
Oh, the last voyage of the Demeter.
I like that one, but there's not enough.
He was a complete monster in that one.
Yeah,
not even human.
Yeah,
looking.
I like the charm of Dracula.
Yeah,
I really do, and I like the banter between Dracula when it can happen and whoever his adversary is in that moment. I like the back and forth.
I always like the in vampire movies where you have the changing of people that you care about, and that now they're villains too, and they're
which is why Brides of Dracula is awesome, because even though it doesn't have Christopher Lee in it, it has that people you know and you like coming back as vampires. And that's what makes Salem's Lot so fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And I like vampire movies where you're home safe in bed and there's something trying to get through your window, as opposed to being trapped on a creepy ship.
Yeah, with nowhere to go.
With nowhere to go. It's like, it's a great movie, but like, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's aliens, but it's or Alien, but with Dracula.
I mean,
but
Rogue
when they're
One,
like knocking at the
Right.
window,
Yeah.
You know the end.
got to
so.
invite him in. See me.
You can't see me.
See me.
I think that's the best thing about that movie for me, is that you know how it's supposed to end, how you're going to make it. So I'm interested in want to actually see how you think it ends. Whatever happened to?
Whatever happened to that drinking game? I think we need to bring it back. It's awesome.
With the broomstick?
Yeah, I think we should give it a shot.
Everyone fails.
It's a low ceiling.
Every one of us fails.
We'll have to use a short-handled broom.
But whatever happened to drinking games? Are the kids still even playing them
I'm sure
now?
they do.
If
Or are people
if
just
Pong
like...
was a thing, they'd be playing that in that bar.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people aren't doing drinking
sure they
games.
do.
No,
Look on
little
TikTok.
bit of beer
do
pong.
all the beer pong.
Are they still
kids,
doing
they
the
do
kids?
the beer pong.
They do the beer
They do
pong
the beer
stuff?
pong, yeah.
I don't know.
And the MTVs and the VH1s.
Their hula hoops and their jump ropes.
Quarters? Is it quarters?
Oh,
yeah, quarters.
Is quarters still
Asshole,
I remember
which is a card game,
Asshole
but
is the. Isn't
that's
that
a-
when you? What's the one when you got to put your thumb?
Yeah,
on
that's
the
that.
table?
Yeah.
All right.
Flip cup?
Flip cup.
I think that's still
Never have I ever the drinking game with that.
Oh.
No one
People
does
still
that.
do
anymore.
that.
People
Yeah.
just
Just
drink.
playing. How about just
Have they
playing
made a-
drinking games?
have they made a
like
drinking-
drinking along to?
Have they made
to
any
movies
new
and
ones?
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Have they made a drinking game out of Bloody Mary? You were just talking about something. For some reason, I was thinking like Bloody Mary. Is
Bloody
like,
Mary.
You drink a beer in the mirror and say her name 3 times while.
Whatever. Like
I feel like there's probably like a game where people watch The Room and every time
I
it
was
says
going
hi
to
Lisa,
say, is
there's
there
a fork
are
or
people still
whatever.
watching? Are people still playing the Battlefield Earth drinking game? Because you can.
Why,
get
was that a
blitz-
thing?
Oh yeah, that's a
What
thing.
was it?
Oh,
Take a
every
drink
time
whenever
they
what?
do a filter, every time they say man animal, every time they shoot from a Dutch angle, every time.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Every time they say leverage is like it's.
No, that's why.
It's awful.
It's really bad.
We're gonna have to do that movie.
I've seen it. It's real bad.
We're gonna have to do that movie sometime.
I did not want to become a Scientologist after seeing this.
Yeah,
movie.
no. Turn me up to Scientology.
I was hoping
Did
I
you
would.
have leanings
and I didn't.
before?
I was considering
He was,
it.
yeah.
I saw that movie. I was
Between
like,
that
Somebody
and
bought you a
snake
copy of
handling.
Dianetics for Christmas, and you were hooked.
Derek, whatever happened to?
Same thing. The beer,
Drinking, you
beer
gonna go
games
with mine? Yeah.
and the cool ass vampire movies.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Whatever happened to a lot of Christopher Lee? A lot of Dracula.
Right.
There's not a lot of Dracula in this movie.
Well, he was doing other things.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like kicking his ass.
I believe Rasputin the Mad Monk.
Oh,
came
was
out
that
a
what he was
year
filming at the same
before.
time?
Yeah,
Was that the
came out
double
a little
feature with this
before.
movie?
Yeah, he had some amicus stuff he had to do.
Oh, was it?
Well, he did do Amicus.
I think it was either Rasputin the Mad Monk or Fu Manchu came out like a year before.
Oh,
this.
okay.
Oh, I
never
love
saw
that
Fu
time.
Manchu.
I love that period in time.
See, Gremlins 2 did it right. Gremlins 2 used Christopher Lee a lot.
Yeah.
And that one
Oh,
was
he
awesome.
is in that movie.
Yeah.
That's the greatest sequel ever made. I just want to.
Nope, Caddyshack too.
Nope. Gremlins 2, the new batch.
One of the greatest. Come on.
I have to see it. I don't think I've ever seen
Jackie Mason. You probably hate
saw
it.
Caddyshack 2.
No, you'll love it.
Once. You think
It's
so?
so funny.
I'll check it out.
I love it. I like when vampires can't just walk into your house. I think this is
They
in
gotta be
line
invited,
with. You
yeah.
got to be. It's one of my favorite vampire
Same.
tropes. You can't get in unless you invite them. I like how it's done.
I think we covered that in
We
an
have
appetizer.
rules. We did,
right?
a long
I
time
think
ago.
that was
The
like
vampire rules that we
unanimous
really liked.
amongst us.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love it.
See me.
And even this one, like, and then the water one, I was never not familiar with, and they use it a lot.
Hammer loves
in
that
the Hammer
one.
films.
Yeah.
That's a fun one too. But yeah, I like that you can't just walk into somebody's house and chase them around for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking Acme cartoon. It's so Benny Hill.
Yeah,
I really like
Cue
it,
up
but
the
sometimes it's
yakety
just
sax.
like
Dracula's back.
this 6'5" motherfucker's just running around somebody's house.
It's like an episode of Scooby-Doo.
In one door, out another door. Yeah,
it's like an
it's
episode.
that's what I said earlier.
Cue the hallway shot with a shitload
so
of doors.
funny.
And Beatles
So
rip-off
funny.
music.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah, whoever was
Yeah.
trying to sound like the Beatles in the 60s
Yeah,
at that time.
Badfinger.
Dean, how does it stack up?
It's kind of in the middle. Like it is. It has all the trappings and the set pieces and the music of the Hammer movies that I love. But it isn't as good. I think Prince of Darkness is a superior movie. But it is better than some of the later ones that have a better story and monsters, but I don't. The setting isn't as good.
I want to pose this question to you, Dean. Freddie Francis directed this movie?
Yes.
Would you think it would have been better if Terrence Fisher
I
directed
do.
it?
I
agree.
100% do.
I
Me
agree
too.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Can I point out to anyone this drove Jen crazy watching it because she's like, there's supposed to be a road that goes right up to the castle.
Yeah.
Why are they like this? Literally
There's
takes
no
place
continuity
right
in
after.
any Hammer
yeah.
movie.
Well, it was the two before it had the same road and entry, but this one because they were filming at Pinewood Studios
and not Bray.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't have used stock footage. You know?
They could have. They really could
created
have.
some kind of, but it didn't
Yeah,
work.
or do
to
a
give
matte
them-
painting of what they already had.
It's like, what did Dracula like float downstream? Like why is he?
Which you can't do because that's running water.
He's got a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
I do remember when I first saw this on Creature Double Feature when I was a kid. One of my first introductions to Christopher Lee as Dracula was the blood dripping on the ice. And being like, Dracula is under ice, like and
Oh, that was
That is-
I did
that
like
is
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I did like
Yeah.
that.
Yep. And the blood dripping from his eyes at the end when
Yeah.
he's impaled on the cross. Oh, love it. Love it. Love
Great
it.
stuff. It is good. It's upper middle. Not as good as Brides, not as good as Scars, not as good as Horror. Up there with Prince of Darkness for me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there.
Lower for me. Probably the lowest, to be honest, because like out of all the Hammer movies, there's been a lot that I've seen that I've really really enjoyed. So I feel like by default this would be like the bottom for me at the moment. I haven't seen everything, so I'll keep watching, but and definitely lower for the Dracula. I prefer. I mean I like the seven golden vampires.
You like that?
I love AD.
That's a fun
AD
one.
So I mean,
AD 72 is a fun one.
So much fun.
Right.
I really, yeah.
So
Or Chelsea 73, like they were going to call it in England. It's right up there with the best. It is. I've said it. I don't know how many times in this episode. I've said it. I don't know how many times before this episode.
12?
Probably at least 7. But it's my favorite of the sequels.
Cool.
Love it.
Tito.
Call it nostalgia.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
care. No, I call it nostalgia. Call it whatever. It's still my favorite. My go-to Hammer.
Not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that at all,
I
man.
mean, there's a few.
I mean, Tito.
No, you love what you love, Brian. I fully endorse it.
I'm unapologetic.
love
Tito.
is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Loving lovers love.
So, Dracula movie is my least favorite of all the Dracula movies I see. Hammer movies, there's only one movie I like less than this movie, and it's 1 Million BC.
So it's
And that movie has Raquel Welch, and
Yeah.
I fucking hated that movie so
Did
much.
not like that one.
But I don't have the extensive knowledge of the I watched.
we're about the
we
same.
watched Hammer
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah.
I think you've seen more than I have, but
Probably
I
because
haven't
we
seen-
started before you joined. So
Yeah.
but like probably not by much.
But of all the ones I've seen,
Right.
there are others that I really, really like, especially with Christopher Lee. What's the one where he's the good guy?
Oh, the Devil Rides Out?
Devil Rides.
That was a fun movie.
That was a good
I think
I like
that's
that
a
one a
really
lot.
fun-ass movie. But yeah, it's not one of my favorites. But there was a post-credit scene.
I don't think it needs it.
Yeah, I skipped this one.
I put it wouldn't be a Hammer film if it had it.
Yeah, true.
that at least I know.
Right.
It wouldn't be a Hammer movie if
the bad guy's dead. Cue credits.
I actually think this one wrapped up slower than because usually it's like it kills him and then it's just like bam, the credits come up.
Yeah.
This one actually I think had a line after it.
And the camera lingers on that bloody cross.
Yeah.
Right.
There
As
was
the
a little
credits are rolling.
embracing. There was some embracing and
Yeah, between Paul and Maria.
Yeah, no. That's it. Whatever happened to just movies ending? That's because we wait at the
That's a
end of
good one.
credits for everything, and even when there isn't anything, we're waiting now.
Is there a better ending to this movie?
I don't think so. No, it ends great.
I love the death.
I would actually say I would like it a little less more clear that it wasn't just him falling on a cross by accident because they kind of trip. Like it's not. Like, it is almost like Dracula attacks him and falls off the edge and kills him. There's no actual intent of the hero to
no
kill
struggle
Dracula.
back and forth and him throwing
It
him
is
off.
literally Dracula like accidentally diving onto a cross. So I'll give a if it seemed less of an accident.
So that's like the Inspector Gadget death when Inspector Gadget would like bend over to pick up a quarter and that would just happen to be a time when someone was trying
Like
to leap
shooting
on
at
him or
him?
take a shot at
Try
him.
to tackle him and
a
Inspector
hero by
Gadget
default.
died on a cross.
Yeah. No.
Gadget died for our
That's
sins.
one of my favorite episodes. Where he died.
Wowzers.
I was resurrected as a robot.
That's how he became a robot.
Gadget.
Oh, help here, Petty.
That is a fun thing. It's very strange because Dracula in these films is this like all-encompassing evil being, but punch him in the face and he feels it.
Yeah.
Right? Like people fight him. Which is hilarious to me. Like as awesome as Peter Cushing is in some of these films, is like that old motherfucker is not fighting 6'5" Christopher Lee and holding his own on a carriage. Right? It's just not happening. But I like that part of Lila. You know, it goes back to the chasing people around the house thing, which I think is hilarious.
You don't get to be Grand Moff Tarkin unless you have that skill, sir.
That's right.
So.
I don't know. He just stands on that battleship. So.
Fire when ready.
I don't think he has. You got a gun?
Leia.
He doesn't have a gun.
Is it Leia
Blaster.
or it's Leia? I'm going to say Leia because I don't give a shit.
But I like the end. I thought the end was
All
fun.
right. Fine.
If you like this movie, you might also like.
I would recommend The Vampire Lovers or other great Hammer hits.
I would go see the next one, Taste the Blood of Dracula and Scars of Dracula. And everyone after that.
Same, just the other Hammer Draculas, I guess.
Yeah, I put Horror Dracula, Brides of Dracula, Kiss of the Vampire, which is a non-Dracula Hammer vampire movie, which is fantastic. Yeah, we saw that one.
Yeah, it's part of that. It's part of that trilogy.
The Karstein.
Oh, yeah.
Karstein?
Twins.
No, that's not part of the
Which
Karstein.
one? No,
It's
that's
not the
Twins?
Karstein one?
No.
No.
No, it's kind of a standalone.
I'm thinking of a
Yeah.
different
It
one
does.
then.
It does
I saw
have
the one with the twins.
What's her Ingrid Pitt?
Yes.
But it is its own thing.
That was so Vampire Lovers, Twins, and what was the third one then?
Lust for a Vampire.
It's
all
the
right.
second one.
Gotcha.
Twins is the third.
Yeah.
one.
Which
Look
is the
who's
one?
talking now.
That's the one with the musical number in it.
Yeah.
The singing and the girl has the terrible old face where she goes
Yes.
cross-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Oh.
want,
I'd like to.
Chris,
That was before you. I
The
think.
Pets, Tito. It's the Pets.
All those movies are before me.
Well, yeah, that's true.
wasn't-
You were
yeah.
important.
Way before Tito.
if you want Christopher Lee with slightly more dialogue, playing basically the same Dracula, a little bit more dialogue, and the mustache from the novel.
Yes, the Franco.
Jess Franco's
Yeah.
Dracula.
Count Dracula.
Count
Yep,
Dracula.
from 1970.
Yes.
Is that Hammer?
No, it's
No.
not.
No.
No. But Christopher Lee played Dracula like 4 times in 1970. I think he made like 3 Hammer films or 2 Hammer films and 2 non-Hammer films that were all Dracula movies.
I'm trying to remember what the other were. There's the Franco one.
But
You should also see Gremlins 2, the new batch, because he's in it.
And he's holding a pod from
sure
the
is.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, that's cool.
That's great.
Dracula AD 72. Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, I think, is my favorite Hammer movie.
Interesting.
And the only movie Hammer movie I've seen, but not with any of you guys, is Captain Kronos.
Oh, Captain
I really
Kronos
like
is
that movie.
awesome.
I like that.
There is a comic series that they did like
Yeah.
5 years
told me
ago.
about
That
this,
was
yeah.
really good. They
Yeah.
did one for the Mummy too, but I didn't get into
hell
as
with
much.
The
But
Who released that?
There's
a smaller company,
Yeah.
not one that I
I'll
can.
see if I can find it. On
there's a
Yeah,
Hammer.
it is
There's a
good.
Hammer one that's at the bottom for me.
Captain
But
Kronos?
No, to the Mummy.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't really
Peter
like.
Cushing and
Yeah,
I
didn't
like that
enjoy
one.
that very
saw
much.
that.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I don't mean to interrupt this, but in 1970 he did Scars of Dracula One More Time, which is the other one that, where he played Dracula. Is that the one with Sammy Davis Jr.? It was a comedy.
One
Yes,
More
it was
Time.
a comedy.
He made a movie with Sammy Davis.
He
Jr.
did.
I gotta
Oh,
see
that's
this
awesome.
movie.
Taste the Blood of Dracula and Jess Franco's Count Dracula.
Huh.
So those are the 4 Dracula movies he made in 1970 alone.
I'll have to see this one more time.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't know it at
Yeah.
all. Okay.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
All right.
let's find this one.
We'll
and
have to check that
out. Anyway,
What the
sorry,
hell am I
I
doing?
didn't mean to interrupt, but I was
No, that's-
intent on finding that because I knew it was an odd one.
That's it.
Is that-
no, MVP, right?
Yeah, we have
we'll go
MVP.
All right, MVP.
Ripper.
I'm gonna go with the sets, the scenery, and this is awesome.
Christopher Lee.
Yep, rooftops. Love the rooftop sets.
I gotta go Xena and maybe.
Oh, I would go with Xena
I gotta
too.
go Xena.
I'd take Xena on the rooftops.
Oh my.
She was
You
fun.
would?
She was fun for me. Cheeky monkey.
Cheeky fucker.
Cheeky bugger.
Can we put
Hot
them
fuzz.
as a pair, like Ripper and Xena? 'Cause
Ripper and Xena. Ripper and Xena. The Adventures of Ripper and Xena.
Tonight on NBC.
I'd watch that.
That it?
I
Yeah,
believe.
Is that it?
Dracula has risen from the
That's
grave.
Dracula
Nice.
has risen from the grave.
And then went right back to
it. Yeah, pretty much.
You got any
So
final thoughts on this
three out
movie,
of 2
Dean?
dads recommend it.
Absolutely. Well, I recommend
Do you recommend it? Do you recommend it?
No, I think there's better movies to see.
All right, so 4 out of 1.
He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
The enormity of their stupidity is just overwhelming.
That boy ain't right.
I am too smart. I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T.
I don't know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math.
I'll just wait for Mom to get back.
What?
4 out of
4
1?
out of 1. Recommend it, right?
No, 1 out of
What did you
1 out
hit your
of
head on
4
something?
Do not like
4
it.
out of 5.
4
Yeah.
out of 5.
4 out of 5. Dog.
Wow, what you guys
Geek
Oh,
dads
5.
recommend.
Shit, that's right. Dean's here.
Baby smell.
Baby smell.
4 out of 1 people.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 1. Yeah,
5.
4 out of
4 out of
Four
5.
out of
Geek dads
5.
recommend.
Do it. Thank you. That's
Oh
what I
my
meant.
Like, just like a dentist.
Shit.
Sorry, Sarah. I
been a
want to
long
apologize to her on your behalf
Day.
for having to deal with you.
It's not easy.
That much is certain.
Nice.
So 4 out of 5. Recommend
60%
this
of the
I would
time, it works
recommend
every
it.
time.
I John
100%
Madden
of
that
the time.
shit.
I'd recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it to people as their first Hammer Dracula.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
recommend
like
some
that,
good
yeah.
ones.
Because you want them to keep watching.
Right. It doesn't represent
Right.
it as strongly as some of the other ones do.
What do you think does? What do you think is like the strongest?
Oh, horror of Dracula.
I would say
Dracula.
I would say Horror of Dracula, but Horror of Dracula is Dracula.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna like take the novel out of it, I would jump right into Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Because I really like the cast and the way it's set up and it stands
I do
on
like
its
that
own
one. Yeah.
and has a completely new protagonist too.
How does he die in Prince of Darkness?
It's in Under the Water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with the priest
that
who
one
shows
is-
his ass.
yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
shoots
yeah.
him
That's
under
a
the
great
ice,
one.
and that's
There's
why
a
he's
lot
under
of
the
them.
ice in this one.
Yeah, that's a good
Even
one.
though it was like in the moat of the castle, but in this one he's under the mountains.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's no continuity
That is a good one.
in a Hammer movie.
Vampires swim upstream.
Spawn like salmon.
It's Dracula flipping out of the water.
So majestic. Crikey, look at him.
Have a look at
You're all
that.
right,
Oh, bear got him.
You're all right.
Crikey.
Take it up this way and that.
The moral is to never try.
All right, that's Dracula Has Risen
That
from the
is.
grave. 4 out of 1 people recommend it.
No.
And one for all.
And all for none.
One hates it, 4 likes it, whatever. Hey, 4 out of 1 episodes of the show are really good. If you want to go back and
not
learn how this show works, if you're like Dean and don't listen to us anymore for some reason and need to go back to learn how it's done, Brian, where can they go?
They can go to our Geek Flag section, Mark,
Geek Flags.
which I already tried to say, but
Sorry,
you wouldn't
Brian.
stop.
What's making our Geek Flag fly?
Dean, you got something making
Dean, what's making your Geek Flag?
I recommended it slightly earlier. The Kevin Can Go F Himself on Netflix. It's kind of half sitcom, half Breaking Bad / Weeds kind of drama.
Yeah. Dramedy.
Dramedy, but it literally is like half a sitcom.
It's filmed two different ways, right?
Yeah, because I saw a preview for it, I guess, on when because it's just on Netflix. It was on another series, streaming
I believe
service before,
AMC.
Right? Yes, I believe you're right. AMC Plus or something. And when I saw it, it had this look to it like it was a Nickelodeon kind of like sitcom, but with adults. And I'm like, this looks stupid.
Yeah, it's half super cringy sitcom, like very over the top.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then half like authentic drama. So it like goes back and forth.
And it works?
It does work.
Yeah?
It's like I liked it from first episode in, but Jen, I kind of wasn't as into it as I was. And then once we got it halfway through the second episode, she was just as...
She was into it.
Is hooked? Yeah. I'll take your word for it because you turned me on to that Plebes show last year that I absolutely loved.
I thought you turned me on to the Plebes.
No, you turned me on to it.
I didn't mean to turn you on. Robert Palmer. Sorry.
All this sexual attention is hitting me.
Tito's in the middle.
Tito's in the middle. I've got some great
I thought that was my hand. That's your hand?
Mi scusi. No. Mi scusi.
I've got some great superhero movies I want you to watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder.
They're so good.
Give Sucker Punch another try.
Give it a try for me.
Right in the dick.
I've watched it. I've watched Sucker Punch.
I saw Alien Romulus. Dean and I saw Alien Romulus, and while I thought the movie was okay, it's still making my geek flag fly because it's an alien movie that does not suck.
Good.
So I've got to give it props.
Good.
I recommend seeing it. It definitely has some moments, but if you've seen the trailer, you've seen pretty much the best parts. And the ending is kind of WTF, but I'm going to leave you to figure that out for yourself.
Decide for yourself.
Decide for yourself. Also,
you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't yet. No, we were supposed to go this past week, but stuff happened.
check it out. It's got some...
It's worth seeing.
It's worth seeing. And my Peter Steele typo negative action figure arrived today.
Is that the
from
Super 7?
Yes, from Super 7.
I saw that online.
It's
Super
happy.
7.
I can't wait to go home and play with it.
What about the figure?
A little bit of column A. That's why I'm screwing up tonight. I'm rushing to get this done so I can go home and play. What?
I was actually going to make a bookmark of that so I could get it for you for Christmas.
Oh, you can get me. But there's another one. There's two of them. Yeah.
Okay.
There's the Life is Killing Me one, which I have, and then there's a Dead Again one, I think.
Oh, okay.
So keep
there's
that in
variants.
mind. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and
You'll have to remind me
buy
again
me
which
another
you
one
already
so I
had.
can take it out and play with it.
That's what she said.
And then
That's what Mr. Kevin used to tell me.
And then I can leave one in the package.
Oh, that's cool.
That's also it.
Sure is. Derek, how about you?
There'll be a comic.
It's been a while since we've done this. I finally watched the...
What have you been, just in a cave doing nothing?
With a box of scraps.
I really haven't.
It's been so long since anyone told me to watch anything.
No, I
curled up in a ball.
He's been busy.
I have been.
My God, Derek, go ahead.
I finally watched that Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, I want to see
that.
The animated one, right?
Yeah, decent.
Oh, I don't want to hear
There were
that.
things about it that I really, really liked.
It's multiple parts, yes?
Yes, 3 parts. It's a trilogy.
So only one part is out
That's
so far?
what, yeah, trilogy means. It's 3 parts.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things. Chewie, take the professor in the back and plug him into the hyperdrive.
This guy's giving me the shocker, though.
Well,
Mi scusi.
That's a Spider-Man
Chew in the goo, one in the poo.
What else?
I saw Long Legs. Finally, which I wanted to see. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, "That looks awesome." It was awesome. It was good. Not as scary as I thought it was going to be.
It was one of those horror movies that was more mood all the way through than anything.
Right.
and it had like a level of tension too
Yes,
that I liked.
yeah.
that
Which
they
was-
were able to maintain.
The pacing was
Yes.
awesome. Nicolas Cage was fucking
Oh,
amazing.
he was amazing.
I really liked the girl too.
A24, Dean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's a neon movie.
No.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it's not A24.
It's not a
No,
Neon. It's a
the
knockoff
main girl was
A24.
great, and so was surprisingly, because I've only seen her in a handful of things, and she's not usually very good
Sydney
in my
Sweeney.
eyes. No,
She's not in that movie.
No, she's not.
no, Alicia Witt.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
the
Like the
mother,
mom.
and I was
Yeah,
like,
Urban Legends, Alicia.
That's right.
Witt.
And
Yeah.
she
Bebe
was
Neuwirth's
the
daughter.
kid on. She's Bebe Neuwirth's daughter.
Yeah, Alicia Vitt. Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
She was
but
in Twin Peaks.
She,
fuck with us?
No, when she was a
Bebe
kid,
Neuwirth's
she
daughter.
was the daughter
On
was it
Dune.
Sybil.
Oh, the TV show? I
she
love
played
Sybil.
the
Isn't
kid
Alicia
on-
Witt the one that was in Dune?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
in Dune. Yeah.
But
yeah.
she was also on a sitcom as the kid on a sitcom.
We'll
I
go with
don't remember
Sybil.
Which one?
Yeah. Give me a break.
Nope,
Nell
no
Carter?
post.
No.
Give me the break.
No, that wasn't that a Lawrence?
Joey Lawrence?
Was it
Joey?
one of the
No,
Lawrence?
Joey Lawrence
kids
is on Nell.
Nell, okay.
Mm.
Give me a break.
Or Give Me a Break turned into Nell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it became Nell. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so it was
Wait,
great.
no,
Definitely recommend it.
Nell was Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch it like in the dark. Like have the whole experience. Watch it on a big screen. Don't watch it on like an iPad.
All right.
Yeah,
Have you seen
we
it
gotta
yet?
go that.
We gotta see that.
And then the first episode dropped yesterday of the new season of
Only Murders? I haven't
And-
watched it
Oh,
yet.
it's
really?
good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun season.
They go to Hollywood, right?
They do, yeah. Which I'm kind of
like
a little
the
bit bummed out
Muppets.
because I do love I love New
I
York.
love New York, exactly.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
God,
Yeah, New York is so much a character in that show,
if
too.
like 15-year-old me ever heard me say I love New York, I would be so upset at myself. But I
Oh,
love
this
it.
is
Fucking
deja
love it.
vu.
I know.
Yeah.
right?
What was the other? I was listening to one of our episodes where you were
Oh,
talking
and I said
about,
the same thing.
The last
yeah.
we were
like 5
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
We were talking about Comic Con. How
Yeah.
excited you were.
Yeah.
So alive, this city.
That's funny.
And Derek said he's going to talk about Comic-Con from here until October.
I told you. It's
he
gonna
warned
invade
you.
my geek flag section every day, every episode.
I discovered a show that is now on Netflix. It was originally on AMC Plus in 2018. It's called The Terror. Has anybody heard of this?
Oh,
I've heard
with,
of it. I have not seen it.
That actor's awesome. I fucking
Kieran
love him.
Hines?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a fictionalized tale. It's based on a real life story of a Royal Naval expedition that in 1847 is sent to find the Arctic's fabled Northwest Passage to get to the Pacific. But after the two ships get stuck in the pack ice, they instead discover a monstrous polar bear-like predator that stalks the ships in a desperate game of survival. However, as situations worsen and supplies dwindle, civilized behavior disintegrates in favor of survival at any cost, meaning I think they resort to cannibalism.
Oh, so we got
That old chestnut.
That old
killer
chestnut.
whales?
But it's cool
Are there
because
killer whales?
Killer
I was
tons.
reading.
Right.
This came out in 2018 on AMC Plus, and this is like right in my wheelhouse because we had talked earlier about Master and Commander.
Yeah.
So this kind of thing, like old Navy ships and stuff like that, is right in my wheelhouse, as I said. No pun intended. And
I think it was intended.
I think it was too. And so it was originally on AMC Plus. Now that it's on Netflix, I saw an article that they were touting the show. And what caught me was that they described it as Master and Commander meets 30 Days of Night or The Thing.
My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's tailored for all of us.
Yeah,
right up your alley.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's right. I guarantee it. So far, I've watched the first 3 episodes out of 8, and I really like it.
All right.
I really, really like it. It's
He's
got a
an
great
awesome
cast.
actor. He really is. I
Yeah.
like him a lot.
What's his name? Richard Harris's son there.
Oh,
Jonathan Harris? No, that's not Jonathan.
Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Harris.
no.
Dr. Smith? Jonathan
I forget
Harris?
his name.
Yeah, but he's
But
in
yes, I
everything.
know you- yeah.
He's in it too.
William?
Matthew?
No. He plays one of the captains of the other ships. There's the Erebus and the Terror. I think he's the captain of the Terror.
Yeah.
Jared Harris.
Jared Harris.
Ah, that's
Kamala
right.
Harris.
Yeah, Captain
I hear-
Kamala.
I hear
Throw
those-
them all out.
And it's really good. It's a great cast. It's very tense. I like it a lot. I'm hoping that it maintains.
You
Like
like
I
it
said,
very much.
I like it very. I'm
Like
a boot black, and I
bootblacking.
like it very much.
All
I
right.
like it a lot.
Tito.
I wouldn't mind having that show. I would tell you,
What's the name of the show again? I'm sorry.
The Terror.
The Terror.
The Terror.
The Terror.
Not to be
Apparently,
confused
it's an
with the Roger
anthology.
Corman movie.
It's an anthology show, like
really?
American Horror Story. So far, there's only 2 seasons. Maybe they only produced 2.
I think they stopped it too.
Yeah,
it looks like 10 episodes. and
Yeah.
that was it.
So
and that's it.
The second season takes place in like Japan. I don't know if it's post-war Japan or feudal Japan or something, but it's totally not the same.
semi-historical.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But the first season is awesome.
Is this going to be like True Detective?
Well,
So
there's
into
only the 2.
first one, and
apparently
then
they canceled it. Yeah, but Netflix has it now.
They might bring it back.
No. I think they're just showing
Sometimes
it.
they do.
You never know.
But sometimes.
Sometimes they come back.
Sometimes
they come back for more.
They brought.
Sometimes they come back again.
Sometimes
like it hot.
canceled is better.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Hey, nuts. Tito.
Yes.
Tito.
What's making your
Speaking
nuts
of.
fly?
What the fuck isn't? I just I saw Long Legs 2.
There's a sequel?
You beat me to it.
Longer legs.
Longer Legs. My favorite part about going to see Long Legs was that when I left the theater, Mark was parked right next to me.
As he usually
like
does.
in the same
Parking lot.
like right
Row.
spot right next to mine.
Yep.
And I was like, I know that car. That's funny.
'Cause
He
it had a
didn't-
Batman sticker
He
on the
didn't
back.
know my car, but I also know his plate.
Yeah.
Because I registered it.
That's right.
So I was like, oh, that's Mark's car. What the hell's he watching? So I sent him a picture of his car. And then he didn't respond, I assume, because you guys were watching
We
the
were
movie.
watching.
Oh, you were at the movie
Yeah,
theater?
The same
he
night.
was there.
Yeah.
When we were there seeing Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
And
funny.
we get out of the theater, we say goodbye, get in my car, I check the text, and there's a picture of my car. And I was like, what the hell?
So what movie theater did you go to? Lincoln again?
Lincoln,
or?
yeah.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
It was a couple of months ago. I had seen a movie on a Tuesday night, and you and Dean had seen
And we were
something.
there. Odds are.
And we were behind you at the red light leaving the theater. And I said,
Really?
I know that car. That's got the Batman sticker on the back.
So if you guys want to kill me, now you know where
Mark
and
and
when.
Dean usually have a date night at the
I know
Lincoln
what his
Cinema.
plate number is, but I'm not going to say it over.
I almost said it on
Go
the movie
ahead.
theater.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I thought that was very funny. It hurt my feelings a little bit. I was like, oh, he doesn't recognize my car. He
I didn't
send me
recognize
a picture
your
of my
car.
car.
I didn't.
Broke my heart a little bit. But
Sarah
my real
only hit
geek
it.
flag, yeah, my real geek flag is
Straight,
the
she
fun.
did.
She did. She backed it to my
You
car.
deserve it, though. You deserve it.
I've
You're
never
mean.
done anything to Sarah.
That's true. But think of what you've done to me. She's
getting
avenged
revenge.
me.
No, I'm kind of doing it for her though,
Are you really?
on her behalf.
Are you?
Tito's on her side.
He's
Yeah.
her avenger.
That's
Shouldn't she be
can't-
backing into my car, which she has done? So maybe.
I'm
No.
rooting for the blood-sucking Tito.
Subconsciously, she wants
Blood
to.
sucking Tito.
My true geek flag though is the final
That's called the
season of
mosquito.
the mosquito. I like that. The final season of Umbrella Academy just came out.
Oh, I'm watching that now, too.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like
Yeah,
it.
I fell off that show.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah.
I heard
it's got a nice end.
Yeah, you
I
liked
was.
it?
Yeah, I didn't mind it, especially because it was the end.
Yeah. I'm
Dude.
so sick of Baby Shark.
Oh yeah.
Every time
yeah,
they're
it's
in,
bad.
every time
What?
they're in their
They're in
van,
a
the radio
van.
is stuck on Baby Shark,
Oh.
and they
Yeah,
can't get
'cause he's
it.
got
So
kids.
every episode plays Baby Shark, and
God.
then it's stuck in your head.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the show that I still really love is the actor who plays Five and the actor who plays Klaus.
Yeah.
I think are just phenomenal.
They're the best parts.
Whenever
of the
they're
show.
on screen,
Five's
they're
the kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
but
20.
he's-
But he
No,
still
I
looks
know.
like he's 11
Yeah.
years
You know,
old. He's
so
20 now.
what's funny is so Liam and Mara have this show that they watch on Netflix all the time, and I don't know if it's a Nickelodeon. It's got to be a Nickelodeon show or something like that.
Oh, it's like
But
Toby, Teddy, Tom.
No, yeah, Ricky,
Ticky.
Dicky.
Yeah.
Oh,
something
Ricky,
in
Dicky,
Dawn.
Nicky and Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the
Watch that
kids.
too.
And he's one of the kids, and
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, it's the kid from Umbrella
And
Academy.
his face has never changed.
Right.
Yeah.
He looks exactly
No.
the same.
Yeah.
But they're very good. They're very good in it. And it's not bad. I liked it. I like the way it ended. I like when shows just end. I don't like to see shit dragged out because usually by season 3 I kind of give up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. If you like the show, then definitely check out the last season.
If you like Misfits, I mean, if you like that, have you
Fucking
seen
awesome
Misfits?
show.
Misfits awesome. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now they do that thing that like England does, which I love and I hate because that actor leaves, he gets replaced. The guy who replaced him
It's
was
awesome.
really good.
Handsome Bomb.
Yeah, he was really good, but like so many of that cast gets
Yeah.
switched out, which kind of loses me a little bit. But great show, Misfits was great, for sure.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Okay, well, hey, I have screwed up the order of this show many times in the past, I can tell you.
Want to hear more,
And
folks?
if you want to hear me, myself more of a jackass, then you can go where, Brian?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons, where if you're not a subscriber, you can easily subscribe to us by hitting one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice. Most importantly, at the website, you will be able to rate and review the show. A rating and a review go a long, long way to help push our little show a bit further forward from the rest of the podcast pack. And most importantly, it helps to get the word out when people are trying to find geeky content such as our own. And our social media presences are linked at the website as well. We can be found at Facebook, Twitter, now X, Instagram, and our audio portions of our show can be found on Twitter each week as well.
YouTube.
What did I say?
You said Twitter.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Derek.
It's okay.
It's the heat. It's messing with our
YouTube through
psyches.
Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to take the long way, go through Twitter. If you want to take the short
Can't
way,
get
go
that
through
from
YouTube.
here.
It's taste, really. It's preference.
Sometimes Twitter is better.
Just go everywhere. Go to these places. You know where they are by now. Go already. How many years has it been?
I've been spewing this
My
stuff every
God,
week
people.
for the last
you
6
should
years.
know by now. If not,
But
you're not
if you're a
paying
new
attention.
listener, pay no attention to what Mark just said.
Sorry.
I think that's pretty much
What
it.
took you
Anyway,
so long?
oh, wait, we do have a Ko-fi
Oh,
page.
we like Ko-fi.
We like Ko-fi. Ko-fi is like
Ko-fi
Patreon.
Kingston.
If you like what you hear, and we really hope that you do, you might consider making a small donation to help keep the show going because, as we say, podcasting is not cheap. And with that, I just want to thank everybody out there for listening. And now, back to you, Mark.
That's right. That's who I am.
That's who you
So
are.
now where do I go from here?
Wouldn't
I say,
have it any other way.
I say thank you, Brian. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Dean, for joining us
Thanks, Dean.
tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you,
welcome
Dean.
Always
back,
a
Dean.
pleasure
It's
to have
been
you
a long,
talking
long time.
Hammer.
We like Dean.
Please come back if you're not frightened. And even
Yeah.
if you are frightened, come back anyway, because we're not letting you leave. So until next, and
Get
of
back in the
course,
closet, Dean.
thank you all out
Bye.
there for listening. Tune in next time. We're going to have another Hammer movie for you. A double feature we got going here right now. So we got another Hammer movie coming up next week as we continue the heading toward Halloween Hammer. Hammer movies, whatever the hell it is. You know what it is by now. It's been 6 years, folks. So... for whatever the hell the name of this show is, I'm Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
And I'm Dean.
Saying good night and keep watching the skies because bird shit don't play favorites.
Oh, that's interesting.
Neither does bad shit.
And true.
Bird shit. Bad shit.
Guano.
Bad shit plays
Guano.
I
favorites.
feel like he's been sitting on that line for like months.
Don't mix guano and guapo.
Dude, I came up with that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Now,
Mark's
right-
pretty
right off the
sharp.
cuff.
Mark's
That is-
sharp.
I'm
dude.
usually
He gets-
tarp as a
he's
shack,
good.
but man, I gotta get
Tarp as a
that
shack.
stand.
Very
I don't know
dense.
What's going on?
But also very sharp.
I'm dark.
Quite dense.
Dense?
But very
It's a
sharp.
little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate dichotomy,
dense.
aren't I?
It's quite the
Tito?
contradiction.
I'm
You're
a
like
walking
fucking-
contradiction.
You're like a walking brick.
Contradiction.
Just dense.
By
Rick
Chris
killed a guy.
Christopherson.
You're like one of those
With the-
prickly
Mark killed a
blowfish.
guy. I'm a prick.
With a trident. Very dense.
I float away.
And Dean's sitting in the corner like, what the hell?
Why am I
can't
here?
I leave?
I could be home right
so
now.
bad.
I was trying to figure out how to make a batshit crazy joke.
Save it for next week.
Off of
Next week.
Tito's
Yeah.
Guano.
Oh,
Guapo.
batshit crazy.
Guapo.
Guapo.
El Guapo Guano. Don't mix the two up.
All right, I got toys to
That's
play
Mark's cartel name.
I would say that.
El Guano.
with. El Guano. I am the pooper of Mexico.
Yeah, that's
When
what
you
it
have
felt
to
like.
go out on stage.
I was on stage naked
and
in
you're
front of my
on
classroom.
from-
It was
Yeah.
Thank
There's
God-
nowhere to
thank God
hide,
your
Derek.
classroom
He
only had
was the
6
only.
Derek
people.
was trying to hide.
One dude.
Nowhere to hide.
I was like squirming as well. I might have covered
Wait,
it up
let's
by
clarify
talking.
whose bad dream you guys going on stage naked actually is.
I didn't say naked.
Yeah, that would be a wet dream.
Yet.
It's very dry.
That's
Mine
funny.
is a dry dream.
A dry
All right.
dream?
Do you have a Dracula joke?
I do.
All right.
All right.
Let's do
Does
it.
it suck?
It does.
Hey!
It does indeed.
That's
Yeah.
a joke right there.
Ba-doom-ba.
And swallows.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
Apologize for that.
Wait, before we get started,
Do you have the Hammer intro queued up too? Oh, is that what you're doing now? There you go.
Okay.
What a guy.
The green button.
The green.
It's the green button I have to push. I gotta remember that.
Key here. Let me push your green button.
You want me to make you turn green?
Yes, it's so good.
I'll not wash my junk for 2 weeks. It'll make you gag.
Gross.
All right, ready?
I think
what's
so.
What's Dracula's favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
I don't know.
Vanilla.
Oh, it's so veiny.
Bloody Road.
Bloody Road.
Pennsylvania, land of dark
So what, Mark?
You gotta do the regular intro first. We play the.
All right, so you want Derek to start the joke again?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that joke again.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna change it to Bloody Road.
Neither does Dean.
so
Do him a
vain.
favor. He doesn't
I
hear
was
that
supposed
shit
to say,
again.
what's Dracula's favorite Carly Simon song?
I know.
You're so veiny.
You're so veiny.
That's good.
All right, you ready? What's Dracula's favorite ice cream flavor, guys?
Vanilla. Did I get it?
You did.
First guess. First try.
Right off the bat.
I got it on the first try. All right, let's take it from the top.
You're getting smarter. The Adventures of Ripper and Xena.
Tonight on NBC.
I'd watch that.